sickness with a brickness. It's time to get the thickness here in week number 2 of the NECC. I'm the Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside him, who's never off the mark. It's Mark Swan coming in strong, and we're going all day long. It's going to be some good old Valorant here on the NECC 2B stream. Glad to be able to have you guys with us, of course, and also being alongside yourself, Marks. How is the beginning of your week going? I want it unfiltered. How are you feeling?
It's Monday. I mean, hey, we're starting things off. It's Valorant. You know that it's going to be a pretty darn good time. But yeah, it's just the work week. You know, this is a great way to just kind of end a Monday out because Monday is not necessarily the best. But here we are, getting into the swing of things. We're NECC. That's right, and I think we've got a pretty exciting Valorant game just in front of us, huh?
Yeah, this one is going to be awesome, but it's going to a couple of teams that started off a little bit different in week number 1. So we can be able to see them. It's going to be the Nova Nighthawks Violets here in the Navigators Mid-East Division going against ESU Warriors. So little bit of a different kind of start here, Marks, as the ESU Warriors, they had a forfeiture, so didn't exactly get to start off their league play strong and just a little bit too afraid of Ottawa Red. But opposite of that, Nova got a 2-0. The first one nearly went to the entire distance into OT with a 13-11 and then 13-3 dominating second map. But that sometimes all comes down to our map pick bands. Maybe that second one was just kind of all theirs, but we've got 3 fun maps we're going to be able to see today. Maybe the third one will drive our observers a little bit crazier.
Yeah, I think that our map series is going to be extremely interesting. Just to quickly comment on how the last couple of matches have gone. Of course, we're still very early on in the season. There's a chance that these players have played together, but also too, this is a good time to just kind of figure out what is your groove. You're trying to test things out, see that synergy kind of lock into place, and so it's still very early to kind of see how these teams are going to be playing through things. Today, we've got very interesting maps ahead of us. Like you kind of said, we were starting out on Pearl. Not a lot of teams like to pick Pearl. I'm glad to see that it's starting to get in rotation. Then tried, true, tested. It's going to be Ascent. And last but not least, if that third map is required, then we're going to be headed over to Fracture.
Yeah, this is going to be I love teams that are unafraid of really kind of getting into the mix. I know that Pearl really isn't new at this point, but, when compared to the rest of the field, it feels really, really new. We do get a comfort pick going over into Ascent, but Pearl, I've been falling in love with that map all over again, and it's going to be our first one here on the docket. And first choices, we actually get to see going over to the Nighthawks. So with as measured of an approach as this team tends to have, especially because their esports program is just so darn good. Got to think that they are going to be bringing us some interesting aspects. I do love the control, the kind of the velocity you can create moving between different the separate sites. Especially it depends upon if we have the Airbnb rent battle going on in Plaza, because mid creates so much havoc dependent upon how much you really value it. If no one really fights over mid, it kind of gives up that open lane to go between A and B, but often that becomes the site for many a battle.
Yeah, and on top of that too, because we are just talking about the Navigators region, I wonder how much of this open space, these different pathways that these teams can kind of take. I imagine that we're going to be seeing a lot of different variety and a lot of these approaches going in there. It's entirely possible that things are going to play out exactly like how you said. Who knows? Maybe we're going to have this crazy battle on A side all the time. It really just is going to come down to how these players want to approach Pearl. And because this is a little bit of a newer map, not as new as Lotus, of course, Lotus, you know what to expect there. Chaos. I do think that Pearl allows for quite a bit of room for chaos as well. Just based on how that map is kind of created, taking mid can basically open up either site and allow you to go into the defender's spawn as well. So there's a lot of options here, but we're going to be loading in, and let's take a look at what some of these agents are going to be here.
Yeah, I am most interested, and I'm going to be answered almost immediately, what controllers we were going to see brought onto this map. And, Viper Mommy really coming in hot for the Nighthawks, but you do also have the control. That's actually one of my favorites, is seeing the Omen play, because there's still a lot of extra movement that you can bring into Omen, can delay a lot with that dark cover. But the Duelist entry, I like this, and it's going to be weird. We're going to have a lot of different agents coming out here. You got the Neon slide in that will be pushing up with the the execute between the breach and the fade for the Nighthawks. Opposite of that, you've got a Jet and a Phoenix. That is a very hyper-aggressive sort of standard to really kind of set it, especially moving into a map like Pearl. I'm interested in how they can be able to kind of find control with that. If you're not hitting off of those blinds and those curveballs and then coming around corners and really popping heads, that particular agency might actually fall. But that's also what the ESU Warriors, maybe they're all about just swinging with claymores, going in just heavy as possible and be able to really kind of put the foot down early. Also, check out this comic book shop. This is so nice. I wish I could be able to show it.
I wish I could get some of those charms. Get a little Valorant logo. Maybe even the gold one. Or wait, is that a send? I can't really tell. It's a little bit pixelated. But regardless, you raise an actually a very interesting point with that double duelist composition coming in from the ESU Warriors. To me, especially two starting out on our defense, that means that they're going to be pushing out as aggressively as possible. Take a lot of space. That's what duelists are meant to do. And actually, we're being teased with that on the defense already. They're going to be running right smack into the Nighthawks. That could be a little bit dangerous, but you know what? That's the whole point of a duelist's kit. So let's see which ones are going to come out on top of it, as we do see the Nighthawks get themselves set up.
T-Mill is either going to be the first to get a kill or first to die, and they're trying to be able to get out of there in a hurry as the fault line already punctures out and is trying to punctuate right through the column and throwing a lot of curveballs. You actually have the Jet smoke that goes forward to be able to save Soulshine, who was really stuck on an island. So neither one died. T-Mill got real close. 8 HP in a dream as they do get the heal up, and eventually First Blood goes over to Slow Motion Puffer as they do take down the Fade. Big trade come out, but opposite of them as their breach will fall. And this is some agency on the back end as well, as you do have the long-term flank Luminous Knight coming through, and now you do have a push through on that, so the double swing will find Matcha onto the Knight as their shield will drop. But that's the defense trying to be able to find some numbers, and this attack right now is kind of stuck here in the market, in the club scene over in this corner.
Yeah, the fact that they're able to deal with that flanker is actually massive. For a second there, ESU really just kind of sandwiched them in, so they would have to force and make their way onto B. But the reason that they've dealt with that Omen, now they're able to comfortably rotate over to A, especially to having Slow Motion Puffer, be able to move a little bit quicker thanks to that Neon pick. They should have enough time to get themselves set up and at least get the spike down, but ESU is just on the other side ready for that retake.
Plan will go down. They're going to have a few people out hanging out in the garden for a little tea party, and with only about 15 seconds or so remaining, it looks like they actually do get a wall bang onto Epic Oblivion, so they will be sent all the way to there and more, as Plant will be ticking away. They have the Neon hanging out just around Hut, seeing if they can be able to find anyone lurking. Soulshine's going to come around from the corner. It's the two duelists that had first contact in the first place are now the last one still alive. Will not be able to find that swing with only about, 18 HP. Slow Motion Puffer should be able to have a free shot at Soulshine, but they also are going into a triple coverage, triple swing, and only a classic in their hopes and dreams. They're looking to just be able to pick up that ghost, but it's just not giving them anything. So as 3-0, 2-0, no goes for the Warriors. It's going to be the Nighthawks that will find round number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a chaotic pistol round. It was hey, let's go B. Oh, maybe not. Let's actually go A. But once again, Luminous Knight on that flank honestly really made the Warriors have a very solid chance at being able to seal that round. But it just completely flipped around as soon as that Omen fell. And on top of that too, once again, Nighthawks able to just run their way onto that A site nice and comfortably. And as a result, they take that pistol round. Now, we are going to be seeing them come in with SMG, Slow Motion Puffer. Oh, never mind. Just going to be sticking to that Spectre as well. But they're going to have to watch out for T-Mill. Has that Marshall watching down B long, and this is where the Nighthawks are starting to engage. Immediately, Slow Motion Puffer could be taking one of the bullets.
You know what, they're able to get those big buy-ups onto this second round, and that's what saves their life, because C-Mill was able to just put a big cavity chest hole into him. They're trying to find even more. Matcha takes down Soulshine, and that's going to be Slow Motion Puffer. They finish the job, but Matcha finds even more. Matcha Moss, and right-click Dreamer. They're trying to be a schemer with it. No, they have a Aftershock that's going to push away Knight, so they don't get to enter forwards, and they're constantly dealing with this talk screen, and now being captured with both. The Prowler is pressed up to go into connector. They don't clear corners, so you still have two hanging out danger close, but the danger's all here as 4 of the Nighthawks are still alive.
A little bit of fault line going to be coming out there. Nice and easy for Cutie Pinky. Now, Luminous Knight just on the point. Has to walk out from the storm grenades, and Matcha is going to clean that one up. A nice, easy round for the Nighthawks, as 4 of them are still alive, meaning they can carry that into the next round.
So one thing that I've been seeing a lot of recently, Marks, is teams until the 6.0.2 patch comes out to change up Stinger. I don't know if it did yet or not, but if and when it does, that's going to make that particular weapon a lot more expensive. But that has been a big eco weapon that even if you're on the losing side, seen a lot of teams buy up into that with a light shield. Didn't see that this time around. I wonder if we'll be seeing that either later today with other teams. But it's one of those things that gets kind of weird. We will have a couple of rifles. We will have marshals as well, as the defense of ESU Warriors is trying to find some big value with some bigger guns.
Yeah, and quite frankly, the Nighthawks, they played that one so well that they're going to 100% go for this bonus. You know that basically Slow Motion Puffer is going to be the only person who doesn't really have a weapon, but as long as we do see the Nighthawks play it a little bit closer, take away that advantage that those rifles are really going to give, then I think that they still got a very solid chance of attack. The Viper Wall is already deployed as well to try and throw a couple of wrenches in this defense, but look at that. The ESU Warriors, they've completely moved themselves over to that ace side, leaving middle nice and wide open, so the Nighthawks, they should be able to take a little bit more space if they are confident enough to go in and take it.
Yeah, and that's a hard read onto talk screen placement. Sometimes you can use that as a feint, but also I'm going to go back to how you disrespected my Frenzy. What do you mean doesn't have a weapon? What in the
Listen,
world?
at that point, you might as well buy a Stinger, is all I'm saying.
Aw, just hurtful words. Okay, well, they do have a lot of extra space, and it is going to be their Viper that was left behind for all of an extra moment to make sure that they kept and played as decoy, but it's been too long. So even this group is finding some extra worth to move over to B site. So, hey, everything getting flipped back to it. And it looks like that we will have defense receiving as the pressure is coming on, and that's going to be team building is dropped by Maddie. And they're going to put their gadgets down. And it's going to be a nice hold from Long, but it's still 5v4, and they have the better weapons, you would think, but the Spectre's able to get rid of Luminous Knight.
All right, that's a lot of information given. Pika going to go around the corner there, looking for a little bit, but can't quite find it. The curveball is going to be going out, but met immediately with the fault line. Can't hear anything, no problem at all. Just spray it down with the Spectre. Just up to Pika now. That Frenzy comes out, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the squad just behind him. And just like that, that's going to be 3 in a row now for the Nighthawks, as they're able to get quite a few rifles for their troubles.
We get to see, hey, full Vandals. That means that we go straight into the bonus. So it's just like going over the Price is Right, going as close as to it as without going over, and everyone's got a full bank. So, Marks, this is that recovery. You absolutely, like, you see the first couple of rounds. If you split those one apiece, it's a weird, broken, almost kind of our current in IRL type economy. This one is more of the 1%ers and 99s, and the 99s sit on the defensive side for the Warriors. Not feeling great. They're going to have to really kind of save up into this, which is allowing even more pressure to build up. T-Mill is going to use their quick draw to get out of there, but a great headshot puts Cutie Pinky to the grave. Epic Oblivion will do the same thing, and they're vying for sharing and caring for that Marshall. So all this extra pressure, using the fast lane, trying to be really isolate that would-be sniper lane, and that's giving them this corner to at least think about, but the spike is still up mid.
Slow Motion Puffer just waiting for T-Mill to swing around the corner. Has that Vandal trained, perfect crosshair placement. That'll get you all the way up to plat. But never mind, Maddie's the actual one who's able to secure that kill. And now the retreat order is a given. The Nighthawks are going to be moving themselves out. Keep in mind, though, quite a bit of their utility has been utilized on that B site. And so if they're going to be moving into A, they're not going to have a lot to engagement. Thankfully, a lot of the Warriors are still on that B side, so they shouldn't have too much trouble as long as they just walk in and, you know, get that spike down. It's looking like another solid round for the Nighthawks here. And the ESU Warriors, they overplayed their hand a little bit. Maybe because of that gun disadvantage, they thought, you know, we just got to throw as many bodies as we can at it. But this time around, it didn't work in their favor. And the Nighthawks will have plenty of time to get themselves set up.
Yeah, that kind of happens into this division. You still have a lot of development that comes into this group. You have the navigators, everyone trying to kind of still find that development for how they want to execute coming onto sites. You actually have Art, where Matcha's hanging out from behind box, but they hear all of that extra steps. So they're coming in through connector from main mid, outside plaza. Now it's just 2 running forward. Now, if you're able to clutch this up, well, you'd be a hero. You'd honestly be a legend to me, because right now the gun diff is so stark mark so the end is nigh that it would be just otherworldly for them to be able to go and get this. But simply by virtue of existence, they're trying to get there as best they can. K is able to get rid of Knight, and that was just a great haunt. Looking to get the swing onto this Marshall, but it's going to be a tight swing off of this corner. You never saw him coming because you're always scoped in. Matcha erasing Soulshine, but that means that the next round, as we go into the cyclical nature of the economy, will be a buy-up. What do you think of... Well, okay, that Soulshine keeps floating on that op. Stop teasing me. What are you doing, Soulshine? Are you going or not?
It's coming through. It's coming through. But I need to really commend the Nighthawks here. It seems like they took a page out of Bear Grylls' book, and they're adapting, they're overcoming, and I can't remember what the third word was. But the fact of the matter is that they are keeping themselves nice and adaptable, reading what the situation is going to be, and then making sure that strategy is going to reflect it. They're not just trying to beat their head against the wall, try to make one of these things work. They're willing to stop in the moment, assess whether or not this is the best option, and then decide to back out if necessary. And oh man, already Luminous Knight is going to be going down. The Barrier Orb has to get expended here as well. Doesn't matter. Mach is not going to let Epic Oblivion walk away for nothing. And just like that, the Nighthawks storm in onto the site. That's going to be a very quick, easy plant on the rifle round of the ESU Warriors.
You know, the third word you were looking for is the thing that us casters are supposed to be at least semi-good at, and that's improv. Improvise.
Oh, right. Yes. There we go.
Yeah, I'm often quite terrible at that. That's why I had to Google it. So don't believe for a second that I was the one that actually knew. Losing that duel, Mach is able to get a 3K into this round, and they have been an absolute beast. They have finally taken care of... No, that's Pika chose you. Oh, I wish they would choose me. Hey, we got Valentine's Day coming up, but it's Maddie that's taking care of business. It's 4v1. Soulshine, yes, gotta expect this move. If you invest that high into a weapon as costly as that op, you basically have to protect it, which is going to create this situation where Soulshine is going to be coveting that weapon for rounds to come, because the next one is probably going to be another save round for the Warriors. Can they swing on it? No, they're just trying to run away with their life in a tower.
Okay, and right now that steamroll is just kind of moving itself forwards. 5 rounds in a row now for the Nighthawks. They look ever so confident. They're going to have 3 ultimates online for this next round as well. They're going to be seeing the ESU Warriors. They're going to be trying to buy up here and force it as much as they can. But this kind of worries me. The only ultimate they can really play around is T-Mill's Bladestorm. And given the fact, you know, the Bucky, maybe not the best weapon to bring into the fray, I imagine the Bladestorm is going to come out in order to compensate for that one. But they need to be able to pick up a couple of these ultimate orbs. I think that would help them get a bit more of an advantage and make sure that their economy doesn't completely fall apart. But right now, it's just the ball's in the Nighthawks' court. They've been doing an excellent job of parrying and just keeping that thing away. And right now, we're about to see if that Bucky's going to work.
Oh, there was a very telegraphed play, putting smokes down. They know that you're trying to be able to create some space. Ultimately, blind, triple swung like a totem pole of pain. And they were able to make it rain heavily with bullets onto him. Soulshine is being pushed off mark as well because they couldn't get through on the fault line, but the dark cover does come down, and they recognize that someone did push through. They actually use the run it back to safely say, all right, I'm going to peek off this. Let me at least look down lane and see what's there. You have had a couple of come out again from the Warriors. This 5-0 has been a march, a death one for the Warriors, but for the Nighthawks, they've been flying so well. Maddie's already posted up into Art, and she's ready for a fight over in Plaza. It looks like one's going to be coming right around the Mohawk. Maddie with the turn, but they are able to get some easy intel because Luminous Light set off the sentry. Can they be able to get the swing? They do! It's just so easy.
Yeah, it's just simply too easy, and now it's a 2v4 situation once again. Fortunately, because the ESU Warriors did force up into this one, they have to try and make this one work. Saving here is not going to really be an option because their economy is going to be reset yet again. Soulshine hasn't gotten too much with this operator either, and unfortunately, it's not been the best investment here as we get to see Pika go down here. There's a moment where Soulshine looked around the corner, but it didn't matter. The neon zip, zap, boom, just around the corner, and you're dead. 6 rounds now in a row for the Nighthawks, and quite frankly, they're making this one look easy.
Marks, are you hired to do like onomatopoeia for comic books? Because that was, I would follow that all day. Zip, zap, boom. Like, yeah, man, beat them down. That's good. Okay, I like
Gotta
that.
keep it real, you know?
yeah. So far, it's been pretty real, pretty stark, as the Nighthawks have really cast a shadow over the Warriors' efforts. Its defense is feeling it rough. You actually have a couple of, we're sticking with shorties? We're sticking with shorties. Okay, cool. So we got some shorties, and we do have a Spectre, and they're just going to see if they can kind of make that one work with them. But this attack otherwise has been clinical, and they continue to have that frenzy of the hands of the Neon. See, they're trying to prove you wrong right now, and I appreciate those efforts.
And look at this, Epic Oblivion actually hanging out inside of the smoke. Gonna be the Rolling Thunder coming in, match with the Overdrive as well. Who can see anything? Definitely not Epic Oblivion. Still somehow alive despite the fact that the team has more or less gone through. Tries to make that one work, but there's just too much pressure with that double swing. Maddie able to secure that kill, and now they're just going in there. Pikachu's you. Oh, that's just absolute pain. Slow motion bumper can't get anything off there, but it is finally compensated. A little bit of a weirder round there, but the Nighthawks on an unconventional just A-side attack make that one work. 7 rounds in a row now.
Yeah, so far so good. Nighthawks are just able to kind of continue the rich being richer. They're going to have Vandals every time. They are basically using their ultimates at will at this point. Again, these are their opening weeks. You're going to be running through your entire division. This program is really well measured about how they do a lot of prep work for all of their squads, and they've done very well in a lot of different esports. And you know, T-Mill, when you run the dual comp or the duelist comp going into these kinds of matches, you have to be able to find that execution. They are the top 2 right now of the squad for the Warriors that are able to find those kills, but you know, it's far and away what has been kind of found by the Nighthawks. Pressing in, slow motion puffer, you know they want to start just running through. They're going to clear some space. Look at that corner. You already see at least one down from Soulshine. Soulshine's going to run away, and now there's 2 trapped on that backside corridor, so they basically know where they are until this dark cover keeps them at least second guessing everyone up on B for ESU. But East Strasbourg, can they be able to at least find one? Looking for a mark. It's so hard to realize that someone's up on top of box, and then they get swung down.
And look at this, actually. ESU Warriors, they put all their eggs in this B basket. And I think at this point, the Nighthawks are aware we're going to be seeing the play come through yet again. It's going to be a very slow rotation out of here. Let's see if the ESU Warriors are aware of it this time. They might be a little bit faster to get over there and potentially catch a couple of agents off guard. But thankfully, this time around, we are going to be seeing the Nighthawks leave a couple more bullets over there. And look at that. They even force out a dark cover on their exit. So once again, it's going to be a nice, easy plant for the Nighthawks. We're seeing the exact same setups come through here. And this is going to be a 4v5 situation. However, the Nightfall is on line for the Warriors. If they do decide to re-engage this and try to push through, it could work out for them, but it gets a lot harder without T-Mill.
I do feel for T-Mill, and especially because the Viper's Pit is in fact going down. That's one of those times that maybe a Bucky is even the most high value type weapon creeping in or defending therefrom, but they're not going to get a chance. They're going to have to watch from the sideline. Epic Oblivion with a Ghost and a Dream can creep in, and they could be able to get a revive, but that's not going to happen for too many players are going down, and they're just trying to spam as many shots as they can. 1v5. All right, Luminous Knight, you and a Ghost, maybe even a Marshall. They're going to ping it, and they actually do have that that swarm grenade, and so many pieces of util just fly at them. Look, we talked a little in the green room before this about like chaos of like Overwatch type stuff. I swear, one person v5 gets to have the Overwatch experience in attack.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Season's overrated anyways. Here's a fun fact about the, what do you call it, the Aftershock there. Can also be used basically as a smoke if you really want it to. Same with the Orbital Strike if you think about it. It does obstruct vision, but also too, dumping that Viper Spin in more or less solidifies that round. I do have to wonder though, the Nighthawks, especially seeing the ESU Warriors being able to buy up into this one, they might have actually wanted to keep that Viper's Pit available for this round, especially too with the operators that we know are going to be coming in from the Warriors. That does a really good job at just completely shutting down the sites. A very early paranoia coming out from that A site, but no follow-up on it actually. So unfortunately, that piece of utility just gets expended and nothing really gained besides slowing the Nighthawks down just a little bit.
Bold of you to assume they won't get that Viper's Pit back in 2 rounds. I highly
There's still 4 rounds, you're right.
That's true. There's a little bit of time. And there's also 3 operators on the field because why not? Soulshine is looking for bodies to blow up, but they're going to have theirs blown up to smithereens instead as Matcha finds them hanging out just outside of Secret. So the 3v5 with a lockdown employed to be able to create that space. And that is what they're trading out. They're able to use that massive kind of takeaway line of sight, major just direct control ultimate with the Viper's Pit and using it instead for one big AoE. T-Mill does get rid of Cutie Pinky, and they're about the same. Hey, that's when the operators really do play, and they're able to put some people down. Pikachu's you will drop down, and T-Mill This is a couple ops. This is doable, but time is ticking away.
See, this is what I mean. It would have been a lot nicer that Viper Spit was available, because it's almost impossible to get a kill with an operator through that one. And you can just see the ESU Warriors, their aim is looking sharp. They're able to get quite a few kills with those operators, but unfortunately, it's just a little bit too late. Smartly so, they put the operators onto that B side because there are a lot longer sight lines. But imagine if one of those operators was doing the exact same thing on that A site. You have to be careful though, especially with the Neon. Just kind of sliding around. Very hard target to hit. You don't want to prioritize Neon as your target when you're using an operator, because as crazy as your flicks may be, that one is just a little bit too difficult, even for some of the pros. But actually, no, the pros always hit. What am I talking about? So, yeah, unfortunately, the operator's not getting as much value.
Yeah, and a Neon as well. The fact that she can slide while sprinting in, that, I mean, you better be hitting your shots. It better be Halo 2. You have super fast just movement, able to just put 4 bullets down range. It's
Only
just
bumper
not
jumpers.
Bumper jumper gang, rise up, okay? Been years. Ugh. Right now, we do have operators that are stationed actually in crisscross applesauce right up this lane. You are watching that direct corner coming out of Club, and Epic Oblivion is just waiting for the Neon, for slow motion puffer. Are they going to get a blind to come out of this? Because they're just waiting. The breach blind will probably clear some of that space, as you have one off angle and T-Mill that may not actually get blinded, as they want to put them away from initial contact. Slow motion puffer, if they continue to expose that shoulder, may get put in the grave by a couple of bullets really fast, turn to Swiss cheese, but that's being done to Matcha, and Matcha's been their leading killer, so that actually puts a lot of value off the board early for the Nighthawks.
And keep in mind too, this is one of the reasons why it's difficult to just solely rely on Viper smokes on Pearl. And it's because of what we're seeing right there. The fact of the matter is you can't have those smokes go down without really exposing yourself, and that could be a little bit difficult. We are now seeing a couple of picks found on mid is going to call for the execute, because it did actually force a couple of rotations around here, and those operators not getting as much value now that they are forced back. And thankfully the Viper's Wall is able to do more than enough to be able to zone things off. T-Mill with an uncharacteristic miss goes to the classic, able to find the headshot as well, is now going to rescue that Vandal, and this might be a good round for the Warriors.
Oh, but Maddie has been absolutely fiendish. It's a 1v1. This is the best chance that we've seen for the Warriors in the entirety of this, and they're going to try and wall it straight up, and they get the revive, prioritizing life over anything, shooting straight through bricks, but that's going to be a 4K as Maddie is able to at least start searching for the ace. Swarm Grenade goes out, they pick up a Vandal, and now no longer will they be in that, but it's going to be 5 over to Maddie, and off the revive. I guess it doesn't count as a true ace, but you know what? It's still 5. So Maddie going absolutely ham to get 10 for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, Maddie now matching slow motion puffer, almost close up to Matcha, as we've only got 2 more rounds left in this half. It's been flawless 10. We are starting to see a couple of, honestly, gems come out from the ESU Warriors defense. Specifically, right now, the Epic Oblivion as well as T-Mill holding those lines with those operators has looked extremely well. Unfortunately, their economy is not going to be shining too bright, so they are going to have to go onto that half buy. But it doesn't matter. Nighthawks, they're interested in moving fast onto this A site. Unfortunately, the Haunt goes right in between the walls, not going to be able to find any information whatsoever. But this is a very dangerous swing that Pika is going to be doing.
No, I mean, he got some information. They're not glitching in there. So that's good. They're just not breaking the rules. So a Pikachu's you is able to at least get 1, and that's going to create quite the stun off of the bolts, and that is going to be a slide that will be punished. Matcha finds Luminous Knight as well, as a lot in the kill feed is presented into this corner. Off the swing, Epic Oblivion, you were talking about them being kind of that shining light. They've at least put bullets down yard, and that's going to be the Prowler that puts them away. So they are blinded, or at least nearsighted, but the T-Mill's here to support them with the Blade Storm. 1 blade in a dream. Got to be able to hit that one with a precision shot. Otherwise, it's pretty much done and dusted. That one, 3v3 off the rotation. You got to think that they're not coming back. They're holding this position, but this is actually giving a lot of rotational space over to the Nighthawks, and they may be able to, with just a sprint, they're probably going to be able to run this one down for free, get the plant off, and this is going to be a tough retake for the Warriors, because they're still operating with the operators, and those are kind of a rough weapon. They almost did it last time into that 2v2, but they're going to have to do it from long off box.
And what's actually going to be extremely difficult about this is the fact that Viper and Killjoy are still alive. That's plenty of utility to just make sure that they can deny plant and really just waste down the clock. And that's going to be extremely annoying to deal with. right now, the Warriors, they have to push into them. They have to find those picks if they want a chance at being able to get this defuse off.
Sentry is being a bully to T-Mill. I feel it. Oh, but dropping a headshot straight on the K. Didn't matter if it was an operator or not. T-Mill is able to find another one. Matcha drops as well, but that swarm grenade making for the Nile. It's actually going to come up a bit short, and that one will have just enough time remaining if T-Mill can secure it. They actually stepped a little bit too much. They were too sure of themselves. I tend to look at the ground. I'm like, all right, am I clear of that? Nope. All right, let me move. The bomb does in fact go off. 11-0. The Nighthawks looking very, very clean today. T-Mill has been able to lead their team as best as they can, but right now, I mean, you know, best case scenario, we could be able to see maybe the final one stolen out. It will be a real rifle round for the most part. Soulshine does have their run it back, and you can't win the entire the game off of the first half, so there's a chance. Just depends on the percentage you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that percentage, it's a little bit tough there, because that's going to be asking for a lot. You know, you got to be able to, assuming that this is an ESU Warriors round, there's still 10 rounds in a row that you have to win, especially too with the sides being swapped. Pika once again getting a little bit cheeky with it, actually able to find one. Trades going back and forth. It's almost like a flashback to last round, except this time with rifles in hands. Keep in mind, though, a Nightfall still available for the Nighthawks. And given how ESU Warriors like to play, I imagine that they're going to be going for a little bit further back, long sight angles on this A site, but that is going to favor the Nighthawks in this situation, as they should be able to get the spike down.
Play coy. We're going to put Prowler all the way up into that connector, and that's going to keep actually Oblivion at bay. And T-Mill does find an exiting K as bomb is down. This 3v2 headache, if you will. They actually do see a couple into those separate cross lines of fire as they use the running back to do so. Oblivion is going to put this wall down. This is going to be clutch. They actually have free space, and this one could be huge. Warriors find a way, find a round, and they're able to get around these Nighthawks, and they get everyone down. So you know what? Congrats to ESU. Enjoy the momentum, enjoy the moment, and then we're going to flip halves.
Yep, and now it's going to be going around. Still, honestly, a really great round coming out from the Warriors. A very smart read, and a little bit of misplays coming in from Maddie with those lineups. Unfortunately, those swarm grenades didn't quite meet their mark. And on top of that, too, the fact that Epic Oblivion was still alive, that's a nice, easy barrier. Or, yeah, who needs anybody to come in on a site while we're defusing? Just keep them out here. It'll be great. So, honestly, just a really smart play from the Warriors in order to close out that half, getting their first round on the board. This is still a tall order, to say the least. They need to be able to get 10 to tie up the Nighthawks. And, well, as you can imagine, the Nighthawks did win the last pistol round. They are on the defense this time, but I do like the fact that they have a Killjoy, because that allows for a little bit more body pressure on one of the sites, and really just allowing Killjoy to play off of that utility and slow things down, allowing for rotations to happen.
There's going to be a lot of gadgets that will be set off because of that right here. But you know what? I've seen 10-2s become 12-12s. I have seen that occur. Thus, I always believe. But can the Warriors do just the same thing off of their attack? They're able to at least get one down, but it's a couple trees they can't afford, and that's going to be 3 for Maddie. Look, you said that they would have control as long as their gadgets. We're going to start trolling them. They're looking for the ace, and you know everyone's pulling off, backing off. T-Mill is going to do a one-on-one with a right-click feed. Do it, yes, they will! Able to make a nice quick dink. They sink them down. That's an ace to start off the next round. Second half. And it's now game points over to the Nighthawks.
And that's why it's so difficult, especially on that pistol round, trying to make sure that you understand the fact that, what do you call it, you don't want to push into Killjoy utility. It's just, you're not going to have a good time. Whether or not you're going into the swarm grenade blender, or, you know, you're just hit by a alarm bot and suddenly you're vulnerable, a couple of pistol bullets and you're dead. You just don't want to do that, especially on that pistol round, unless you are extremely confident and have utility to clear a lot of that out. The breach could be the answer there, but unfortunately it's just simply not enough. Now the Warriors changing up the strategy. They're going to be going down to B. Slow motion puffer up top with a Marshall. Can't quite secure a frag, and so that's going to give up a lot of space to the Warriors just for free. The Viper Wall has to come out in defense, as well as quite a bit of fade utility to try and slow them down. Prowler gets extended, but that is a little bit of information for the Warriors on attack.
That is a salvo of martial weaponry from down yard. I was talking about the comparison of that over into Halo 2 guns, but a slow motion puffer that's able to make Pika lose their skull, maybe losing their mind here soon as the dark cover barely extends out enough to be able to cover their butts. But Matcha holding down corner, Haunt will be destroyed, and that's Soulshine that's able to delete Puffer from the equation. So this becomes a 4-on-4. It's about how do you check your angles? Do you commit into it? No, the rotation is happening, but this could be a duel as they're trying to run it down. That's a lot of damage. Cutie Pinky makes sure to not stick around for too long for the relapse, as you will have an entire triple swing coming out, and Luminous Knight just trying to stay alive. ESU Warriors on the faint swing. Looks like they're going to be really hitting over into B.
Looks like the ESU Warriors, they were like, listen, we know the Nighthawks playbook. They like to just hit B, then immediately run over to A, and just do that. What if we made them think that we were doing the same thing, but we actually re-hit B? And that's exactly what's going on. Now they've only left K alone. Does have a couple of snake bites in order to try and stall things out, but Teemo's going to be getting so much space, and now that spike should be able to go down. Not even scouted out at all, so they have no idea. Never mind, finally finds it. The Spectre Spray is going to be good. Teemo goes down. It's going to be 4v3 on this retake.
You have at least 3 from down distance, and that's in the best position possible, but you do have your Viper still up. The Tox screen, they're going to have to pre-aim a lot of that. That Tox screen will give them at least a little bit of cover if they choose to employ it. They're actually just going to go straight into this duel, and now they have to just throw bullets. See what you can do. The defuse is coming through. They are body blocking. Breach, you gave your life, and this is going to be the Nighthawks that take it 13-1. You know what? What else is the big Swede going to do except putting their chest in the way? That's going to be Nighthawks. They dominate here on their first map.
I had to think about that one for a second because I'm like, why are they just standing there? And like, we didn't even see them spray bullets through. So it's just like, that's really interesting. And the fact of the matter is that, yeah, they were body blocking because the bullet go through person, not going to do as much damage to second person behind. And so the defuse is able to go off. But honestly, what a clinic being shown on Pearl from the Nighthawks. They looked extremely good on that attack. Of course, we didn't see as much of them on the defense, but you could tell that they were definitely cooking some stuff up there. They've got a lot of really interesting strategies, and you can tell that this is going to be a team to look out for.
Yeah, and again, when we talk about kind of the clinic that's been ran, there's not a lot of teams that have put Pearl into their main like back pocket type map set. Usually that's something that, okay, maybe we'll kind of go into it, whatever. Maybe that was the discomfort that ESU had to really kind of deal with, because this is a practice map, but not as often as the next map that we're going to be seeing on Ascent. So you can always just bring this to your opponent, make him go crazy, and hey, they were able to do that going into this first of the matchup. But the next one is coming up. We're going to be taking a short break. ESU Warriors, can they be the comeback kids, or will the Nighthawks continue to fly in formation? We'll find out right after this. Welcome back, everyone. We're getting ready for our second map today as we're kicking off Valorant for this awesome week of NECC action. Again, I'm Hail Monkey Man inside the booth alongside Marks, and you guys just saw a dominating performance by the Nighthawks. I need to know, Marks, like, we're going to be getting into the second map. There's a lot of mental reset and resiliency that players kind of go through when they go between games, especially when they are ones that don't really go really right. What do you expect kind of maybe from coaches and crew? Like, what kind of sits with you to really kind of get yourself into a better mindset, especially after a loss?
The biggest, obviously, I smashed my keyboard. No, that's toxic. Don't do that. That is a bad idea. Pretend I didn't say that. But the biggest thing that you want to do is just really, let go of the last map. Sure, Pearl didn't work out. Pearl's a weird map anyways. Why are you thinking about Pearl again? We're moving on to a map that everybody knows, everyone's practiced. You know that it's going to be Ascent. And on top of that too, with just how many teams have played Ascent, you can feel a little bit more comfortable in it. Maybe Pearl was just a little bit out there. You didn't really know what you were practicing. That's okay. Now's your time to clap back. Now's your time to show everybody what you're made of. And what better map to do that on than Ascent?
The quintessential Valorant map, the one that's the most practiced. This is the one that the Warriors can be able to really kind of strike hard, strike fast, and strike true against these Nighthawks that have been flocking all over them. And of course, I'm going to be interested in how they're going to really kind of go forward into maybe taking over mid. What pathways do they want to run? I've seen a lot of fun at Killjoy play, Astra play. Kind of really depends on how you want to gain intel around here. Definitely Initiator is going to be key. Something even more key is something really cool that NECC has been able to do, and that's a big new partnership with College Esports X, CEX, and they're excited to announce that upcoming in March 22nd, my birthday, they're going to be going to an event in Boston. It's a joint initiative designed to help foster growth and sustainability of the college esports ecosystem, and they're calling it Esports Innovation. It's a program designed to address collegiate esports industry challenges related to economic downturn, job market instability, and the need for more infrastructure. The innovation initiatives encompass programs related to experiential learning, workforce training, curriculum development, collegiate program support, esports startup incubation, and competitive innovation. It's also a lot of words that sometimes are very hard to say very quickly, but I did it right. And of course, you can do it right too. Make sure that you hang out with NECC all the time. A lot of these partnerships be able to help out all of esports. It's really cool, Marks, to be able to see that kind of growth both within individual programs and across the board for conferences like this.
Yeah, and that's the big thing too. Obviously, we're talking about collegiate Valorant because we're here in NECC, but the general idea of esports in general, there's a lot of infrastructure issues that kind of exist and a lot of opportunities for people to kind of come in there and show them what's up. But once again, amazing initiative. Let's bring it back to this map we have in front of us. It is, once again, Ascent. We've got pretty interesting stuff happening here. We do actually have a couple of subs coming in, so we are going to be having Kazmisu come in for Soulshine, and we're going to have Spicy Lemon coming in from Cutie Pinky, meaning that both of these teams are swapping one of their players out.
So, yeah, you know what? The last map went a little bit sideways, so why not go long ways and be able to get some different players working out? This is going to be a flip of the halves as well as... Actually, it's going to be more of the same as the attack continues to be the starter kit for the Nighthawks. I like that they're keeping with... I guess, actually, maybe that's flipped around too. But you have the change up with the Nighthawks bringing in the Killjoy. I've seen a lot of that play. This is very initiator-based. I think we're going to be seeing a lot when it comes to the Fade as well as the Sky, and that Execute is going to be bringing wonders. Whenever Sky came into the meta and really started being the change up, it was something to get used to, being a big flying bird coming at you and realizing, oh no, I am seen, and oh gosh, I am blind. So that's going to be happening probably a lot, especially because you're going to have to deal with birds and prowlers, the good cabbages, the bad cabbages screaming at them. So the Nighthawks looking to repel the Warriors this time around.
Yeah, and it is actually kind of interesting. We're seeing a Brimstone as well as a Breach come in for the Warriors, which is a little bit unconventional, specifically onto Ascent. What this says to me is that they're going to be relying a little bit more on very isolated smoke positions and then moving in very quickly. Use that Aftershock to clear something out and then play off of the flashes in the fault line really to engage. A lot of that Breach utility is just to clear out corners and really make sure that you don't have to check certain areas, allowing your duelist to kind of excel at being a duelist. So I'm curious to see how that synergy is going to work out, especially with Teemo locking in the Jet once again. And let's see what's going to happen here. But of course, like you said, Nighthawks starting out on defense.
Yeah, I think T-Mill has a bit better of an opportunity to really shine on Ascent, because I think that Jet really is able to utilize the verticality, especially in the push-in for some of these updraft positions, especially going on top of Jinny here on main A. It looks like they're going to be running to that. Prowler's going to go through. Maybe you'll be able to get one blind. There's a little bit of damage put out, but Frenzy Gang, yes, continues to be real. They get 2, and that's a big deal. March, you gotta believe in that. That's a real weapon right there.
Wow. Okay, the Nighthawks immediately turn this one around. 4v2 now onto this retake. Only 2 members left, and they're both onto site. They didn't even have time to set up for this post-plant positioning. That's a lot of information given, but I don't know that Cosmisu is able to do anything off of it. Guiding Light can be tossed out first. There go the relay bolts as Slow Motion makes their way in, and just like that, it is a nice, clean sweep up. So fast did the Nighthawks swoop in, denying the ESU Warriors any time at all to get themselves set up, and finding so many picks before that spike even went down.
And the guiding light going through and that bird dying in the corner really was of no issue, no consequence, as they were able to just find the mark, be able to get onto site and take down the Warriors, and even with all the pressure they kind of pushed up with. And that was kind of, you know, what you want to see on these regular executes. This is a very measured, very practiced, pragmatic style of map, getting through these kind of really funneled corridors and then being able to just execute in quick turns of space. You see that on B. It looks like we will see it on B, because that's where we be right now, as the Nighthawks are. They have their gadgets set up in the right spot. That's your toaster bath, just set up ready for, as Killjoy is way deep on B site. But Spicy Lemon isn't cleared, so Spicy Lemon now as that new sub in. I want to see how they may be able to take on this
so good.
execute, but they're running it down.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
Lemon able to find 3 off that swarm grenade, just uses the sheriff to pick up the 4th, and now T-Mill, the last person standing here, and the team is allowing this ace to kind of come through if Lemon can grab it, and it is going to be the case. And yeah, this is the problem. If you are the Warriors, you try to run in onto that B site, that is Killjoy's home. You're going to be running right into all of the utility known to man, and you're probably not going to have a good time. And quite frankly, that's exactly how that second round went.
Yeah, that site is going to be more well defended than the house in Home Alone, and Home Alone 2. Just so many separate traps right in front of you, and you're going to have to get around them, especially because they were running through a smoke and they went straight into the swarm grenade. So no one able to run away. All the damage just ticking down and just left into it's there. Thank you, Observer, just pointing out like, hey, don't go there. You're going to get weakened by the alarm bot, and now you're getting recognized that, hey, at least numbers or someone is here because of the guiding light. So lots of prep. You're going to see the early rotation. It looks like A site is going to be, at least for the moment, abandoned by the Nighthawks, as they're going to start to encroach around the Warriors, who are taking their sweet time to really start moving up into B.
Actually, Slow Motion Puffer with this Marshall is doing a really good job at really keeping the pressure onto the Warriors. Even if they want to do back out, they're going to be met with this Marshall. And okay, now they know it is going to push a Slow Motion Puffer off of that angle, allowing for mid control for the Warriors here. But unfortunately, it still feels like their hand is being forced. They have to commit to this B site, and they're going to be walking right into more swarm grenades. It's going to be a repeat of what exactly happened the last round if they aren't too careful with this.
And they've got plenty of time to be able to hang out with it, as you do have the recon dart that may go forward. They just got to see where's the best place for it. And that's going to be on wall. No one to really clear. And again, can they run a straight lane? Are they going to be going over the stairs? Will they be apprehensive? And all those get set off. But the Killjoy is actually just hanging out, saying, all right, come to me. I'm ready. I'm waiting. They have all of a classic, but they are cleared. And so the gadgets will be as well. This one, though, as K swings around corner, up onto the box. No, onto the wall. Pikachu's U takes down K. But that Spike's left behind. Now, T-Mel. Oh, making great work of it. Able to make a double swing as well, as both Slow Motion Puffer and Maddie will be dropped. Matcha, who was the biggest furious killer last time. Oh, the timing. They didn't see him drop into this 1v2. Both these Warriors very hurt. Making just one left, and they're going to be able to find the third. No bonus for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, we don't want to see a repeat of what happened on that last map. The Warriors right back into things. And honestly, that was that fast level of execution that we need to see. That adaptability coming in from this squad. They recognize that the Killjoy trap is going to be set there. Simply don't go into it. And Luminous Knight did exactly that. Took the long way around and completely caught Spicy Lemon off guard. And with that, then, you know, sure, you got a Swarm Grenade slowing you down just for a second, but the rest of the team is onto site, and you're looking at a 5v1 scenario. The Nighthawks need to be able to rotate their defense around and make sure that they're just really capitalizing on some of those angles to close in. There were plenty of opportunities for them to be able to get something, but of course, it was a little bit of a gun difference as well, so we can't count them out just quite yet. The ESU Warriors, a little bit more confident, a little bit more wind in their sails, are looking to move in onto A.
It also feel, you know, even when they lose, they win, because if you get rid of the buy-up round for the Warriors, then you've pretty much been able to kind of level the playing field, even when you're at a gun deficit. So that one feels even worse, because now you have to be able to go to Spectres, only a couple Vandals to their name, but the Warriors at least got a round to them much earlier than they did in the previous game. T-Mill and the gang, they're going to be rustling in, trying to be able to get that fight against them, but K from distance is able to find two. We'll get the repeat, but they will be dropped on the double peak as well. Maddie gets away from the fault line. They know that one's in hell. They are going to get double swung, and Pikachu's U just had a little bit better of a viewpoint. Matcha has a Guardian. Will they be able to find that pinpoint strike? They're at least looking at him, but it's going to be even better. 3K right now for Pikachu's U, and they're doing fairly well, as they're going to just swing all the way out into tree, maybe? No, they're going to play it safe.
Yeah, they're actually deciding to back out of here, and I'm wondering whether or not the Nighthawks are aware of this. Looks like that is going to be the case. Looking around, actually gets one detained. So that's going to really slow things down. Luminous Knight has to go for the peak, but Spicy Lemon able to find that one. Now Pikachu's U has to make this one work, but Spicy Lemon, once again, the turret as well as that Phantom. We're going to make sure that that is going to be yet another round one for the Nighthawks. A little bit of an expensive one, but they come out on top regardless.
I'm wondering about that little corner back there. Like, I know that we didn't get to hang out with them in that corner, but what do you think that they had to sacrifice? Like, no, you go on. There's just not enough space for us both. Because I feel like there was in that corner. Just not enough.
There definitely was, yeah.
Yeah, so just an oopsie daisy, put a toe out, maybe thinking that they could bait him out, but it didn't play out. So Nighthawks will be at 3 inside of this first 4. ESU, well, let's see what kind of an eco they're rocking. They'll have some ghosts. They'll have a Spectre on the field, and you got to think that they're playing gun buddies between each other with that mid buy-up, but it could be very expensive. They can't get much. You actually may have a secret investment by Matcha, as they're feeling the pressure, hearing some a plurality of footsteps. Right now, that ult will stay in their back pocket, and it looks like they're going to be rotating off of ult orb and heading back over to B.
And look at Maddie. Maddie's gotten so much room as well. We'll be also able to hear this rotate, assuming that that walk is still going to be happening. Yep, spots that one out, and this is a huge opportunity to get some very early frags in the round. Thankfully, the team is taking a look around. That's going to be the spike down, and that's actually going to be 2 for Maddie, as Slow Motion Puffer catches Cosmisu off guard. It's a nice, easy kill, as now the ESU Warriors only down to 2.
Now, all the gadgets right in front of them. They know the Death March that will be available, and they don't want to have to deal with it. Dark cover, so rough to deal with. The spike does fall. Slow Motion Puffer and the gang are just coming in to take down Pikachu's U. It's not yellow version Pokemon. This one is Valorant. Make sure you choose the right one if you're going to enter with that. But it's going to be ESU that off the rotation. I like that idea. They've had immediate pressure. They're trying to be able to get that orb forward, and they nearly have a full stock. I expect this one to be a little bit more chaotic very, very soon, to be able for the Warriors to really bring and bolster that attack. You got to revive to be able to keep the numbers. The orb strike, I don't know how much they're putting that for later in reserve for maybe a post plant hold, but I want to see them really open up some space, maybe even off of the Rolling Thunder.
Oh, Blade Storm gets popped, and immediately so does T-Mill. Fortunately, that's going to be the ultimate just completely shut down. So one ultimate expended. Once again, still got 3 left in their pocket. And look at that. Speaking of getting domed, Misu finds K. Now, Epic Oblivion walks through the smoke there, actually is able to back out. A little bit of timing would have just gone completely awry as Luminous Knight storms onto A. I'm not sure that they're aware that Maddie is in the back here, and this could set up yet another fantastic opportunity for Maddie to catch somebody off guard. Never mind, Cosmisu comes out on top, able to get the Hunter Suri online. This is looking like a really good round for ESU Warriors.
Oh yeah, they got the Orb Strike, they got the Hunter's Fury. There's a lot of post-plant ults, but they're actually looking at expending either a Guiding Light or maybe even their ultimate in here in the Seekers. But Matcha looking for more. As I do see Pikachu's U over into Ginny. That is a rough position. That's gonna be some damage. That's gonna be taken down. Macho was stuck.
Okay.
They couldn't cross over. What a fantastic use of the Aftershock, and Luminous then finishes it off by taking down the second. So it's gonna be the Warriors that find another one. Awesome. It's kind of a weird navigation. They took over mid. We haven't seen a lot of agency of owning mid, which is really how they open up that space for those initial duels over in tiles from Cubby, and then they just moved straight over into it once they got the kill. And now off this attack, they're going to be running up with T-Mill and an operator, which is really just a girl's best friend over on that jet. So Warriors are really in the thick of things here on Ascent, much like we hoped they would be.
Oh, dueling ops. Trading bullets on mid. Nothing quite found. And right now, the ESU Warriors, it looks like they're still interested in moving in onto this A site. They've completely cut noise. Don't even need to pick up the ultimate orb, given the fact that they've still got 4 online. Imagine a couple might be expended this time. Matcha in a great position. Uses these as the Seekers. Gives the information that actually the entire team is right there. The door's going to get closed down as well. Matcha just looking for an opportunity to potentially break it. Spike still not down. A lot of damage taken, and now the Nightfall actually comes in as well. Luminous Knight going to be using the fault line to try and make that one happen. A Shadow Step comes through. Matcha is able to pick up one, but it's going to be slow motion buffer coming in like Emperor Palpatine, just burning people to the ground with electricity. And even though the spike goes down, this is looking like a nice, easy win for the Nighthawks.
Unlimited power in this fully operational Death Star. They're gonna try and have this save at least from back corners, as they know that there's 2 on the outside of it, but they're simply outside looking in. The spike did get planted. The defuse comes through, and that's a bit of expense. There was a lot of ultimates put through, but same to be said, there's a lot that have been built up. Warriors could still execute behind them. They've used all of a Blade Storm. They still have that Orbital Strike. And I gotta wonder how off or kind of push opening they're gonna use or the Orb Strike, either that or the Hunter's Fury, not just post plant hold, also that the cat stamps, they're just so good. The cat tags, the cat everything. This is one of my favorite of all the packages they put together for this game.
Gotcha. Cat girls are a plus. I'm learning things about you today. T-Mill expends the tailwind there. And actually, I think that might have given more than enough information to allow the Nighthawks to understand that the ESU Warriors are going to be moving in on B. Still, Killjoy hanging out onto the site. It's going to be a barrier orb expended there, but Spicy Lemon actually able to drop the spike down. Is able to find 2 before falling down, but the work is already done. And now it's going to be this 4v3 retake scenario, assuming that the spike goes down shortly.
They're going to defend it straight up from out of Boathouse, and they didn't want to get stunned from the Pathfinder, but this corner held by Pikachu is just unable to get multiples. They do get at least one and a little bit of extra damage onto K. Kazmisu still hanging on to Spike, and maybe they're wondering, okay, this plant didn't go down. Where'd the Spike holder go? Maybe this is a 900 IQ play, and actually they didn't get it going at all, and they've recognized how distrapped they are. Maddie is not to be denied nor dismayed as to, all right, Sova has to be here. Where in the world? Okay, the Kazmisu, which, by the way, really good to be able to see players that can come in the midst of these kind of longer rosters and be impactful right off the go.
Oh, absolutely. And on top of that, too, you know, playing off those recon bolts, it's just been fantastic thus far. One thing that could kind of happen, I think that could be a little bit more helpful, is using those shock bolts to deny a bit more of that Killjoy utility. Obviously, the shock bolts, it's great when you get a kill with them. You feel just so powerful and in control of the match. However, the fact of the matter is that it does a really good job at clearing a lot of utility that might be just kind of anchored in onto the site. The ESU Warriors, on a little bit of a half by this time, but still have all those ultimates to work with. I imagine this could be their round.
Especially if they entrap slow motion puffer, but they have a shorty and they've got some sneakers that fly. They could be able to get out of in a hurry, and you got to think they're going to be working their way over into tree. Just waiting for first contact to occur. Do they clear his angle? They get a lot of damage, but they get put to the floor. Kazmisu helps out with that. And it's going to be Matcha and one of their stone cold killers that does the same thing. The paranoia comes through, and basically a bunch of blinded sheep will be brought to the slaughter. Into this 3v2, the Nighthawks in not exactly at a point of advantage, but they were able to make it just the same and level it out with K.
One enemy remaining.
Maddie, just unbelievable stuff, just hanging out here, keeping their eye on a tree. Not allowing anybody to walk through there. basically just an iron wall of bullets flying through from that Vandal, able to find a nice 3K to completely shut that down. From the shadows is going to be expended, and look at this, Epic Oblivion has an idea on what is going down, but I'm a little bit worried. Nighthawks have split themselves up. Oh, Epic Oblivion doesn't quite see it first. K gets a couple of bullets in there. It's going to force out a little bit of a molly, but nothing really found. Maddie now running over here. Epic Oblivion goes in for the swing, but K just a little bit better with it. Just like that, the Nighthawks, they get 7-2 now. As let's see if they can, they finally break their pattern of only getting 2 rounds in a row as they find their 3rd in a row.
Oh, you get a feel for Epic Oblivion. They were stuck in a corner and they wanted to be able to just kind of move it through, and then just an absolutely rude phantom comes through and starts haunting the house you wanted to live in, and then suddenly they are worried about what's coming to their flank from out of Marketplace in case they were going to get run down by Maddie, and then just getting taken care of by K. So I like the pressure, and COD jumping sometimes is able to find you at least a kill, but right now, back to business, 7-2. A little bit better in this first half for the Warriors, and Nighthawks on their defense have showcased, all right, they're going to be able to win these individual battles when they need to.
Oh, it's such a good tether.
That was a great trap. So everyone just kind of stuck in mid, but it just kept everyone around, and T-Mill is actually going to get the kill off of Heaven.
Yeah, it slowed things down just for a second there. A bit of a spray through. Actually gets a bullet into the Sage, but not enough to actually secure any kills. Shadow Step gonna happen. K repositioning there. The spike finally going down. Information is given, but Pikachu's is able to snipe up that kill. Slow Motion Puffer is gonna be trying to break down this door. Hunter's Fury comes down. That's an absolutely disgusting headshot, Matcha. Guiding Light gonna be used on the site as well as Slow Motion Puffer. Goes through the engagement down to this 3v3. Hunter's Fury no longer available, but an Orbital Strike still is. It's gonna be the fast lane goes up, allowing for a little bit of a smoke screen, but they have to pop some of this utility quickly. Let's see if this is gonna force out the Orbital Strike. They're at least going to be able to get it to half. Slow Motion Puffer still holding it nice and close, but Slicey Lemon gets completely evaporated. Now Matcha in a 1v3 impossible scenario, just looking to whittle down the ESU Warriors just a little bit, but this is going to be their round to win as Matcha finds one on the way out.
Matcha gonna try and move all the way into corner. They actually only have 2 bullets, and they won't even get away from the detonation. That's gonna be an upgrade in weaponry as Pikachu's picks it up. And you know what? Sometimes it's just about winning the individual fights. So going off of contact, it is finally post-plant hold with great execution by the Warriors. They were holding on to that Hunter's Fury to get rid of the lockdown that ruined them last time. And so they're like, you know what? Back of our minds, let's make sure don't use that in haste. Let's be able to get rid of that gadget. And hey, the patch update to be able to really hurt everything that Killjoy puts down with all of Sova's electricity is really paying off. So 7-3, a much more doable fashion available to the Warriors. We got 2 rounds to go. They've already started them out. One thing that we haven't seen for the Warriors, they love playing just in a largely executed kind of bundle of death. I haven't really seen them kind of go for a 4-1-3-2 split or maybe anything defaults, but it's because the Spicy Lemon getting first blood there showcases that they can get the shots first.
And what that basically does is all that Killjoy utility is going to be taken down, but Slow Motion Buffer coming in on the back. Doesn't matter. Immediately gets taken down, but trades do come through. ESU Warriors only down to 2 members left. They're able to get it. The Prowler almost taking a bite out of Cosmisu, but they're able to escape out of this one. And like you said there, actually, it's this death ball style that the ESU Warriors are trying to go for. 5 men, just run it down, see what you can do with it. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to get it. I think that they need to get a little bit more control of the map, and some of these rounds can start to swing in their fashion. This half isn't over yet, and I think that this might be the way that they find forwards, but K in a great position to punish Cosmisu.
Oh, especially because they know they're coming. You put the recon dart out. K is right around the corner, so they will not get sighted. So that is not clear. Cosmisu at full HP. They have the blind.
Oh, the flash!
They're able to make it work, and that's why you buddy up. That's why you have the buddy cop movie, and they're able to just work all around each other. But they're in the crossfire, and that's going to be dropping down. Cosmisu, big sub, big dubs on the way, but they've got to be able to get the sub pushed all the way onto site. They're going to have plenty of time. They're going to rock this roll, and so we've got Maddie remaining into a 1v2. Make sure you hit the 4 key. Okay, cool. I often accidentally pull off that key as well. So it's a 1v2 here, Marks, and this is anything but done, anything but given that the Warriors have pulled this off.
Yeah, this is still a winnable scenario for the Nighthawks, but it's going to be an incredibly difficult one. You have the Haunt to engage with. However, I actually think that you use the Haunt to swing off of. Okay, we're going to be seeing it move backwards to try and clear out the back there, but unfortunately doesn't get too much information. And now the information is going to be known where Maddie is going to be coming down from. Isolates the 1v1, but Luminous Knight is able to find the headshot there with a little bit of a crouch. And just like that, ESU Warriors, they get their 4th round in this half. This is going to be the last round. Let's see if the Warriors can take it to a 5-7 half, or if the Nighthawks want to make that 8-4.
This is really painting a better picture for us, Marks, because looking back on Pearl, right? A map that still a lot of teams, a lot of programs really aren't well-versed into, and the teams that are, it's, all right, you've got this down to a science, and if you meet someone that's not prepared, you dominate them. We go to Ascent, which really is the great middleman of maps for everyone. That's when the fight really comes out, especially for subbing in. Cosmisu has been so impactful on the Sova for the Warriors, and it looks like they're going to be able to maybe even get this into an even better situation. 7-5 ain't bad, especially on attack when it's so rough to read the map, but they're pushing in, they get the wall down, and now they basically got free sight, especially with some of this, but they actually will take care of business and putting all covers on every single connector angle. The Haunt doesn't identify anything except they're there. Guess what? It's a 5v5 retake.
And the Warriors have looked stellar on this A-site defense. Makes sense that they'd go for this site. Cosmisu immediately down. Top Fragger taken out of the equation. Nightfall going to be used as well. Gives a lot of information here. Doesn't matter if they can't hear. Frags are still going to be coming in from both sides. They swing down into hell. There's still one more there. It is all cleared out down to a 1v1. The Seeker gives that information as to where this person is. Fault line gets dumped, and now Matcha going to be at least getting it to half. The Dark Cover doing a really good job, but look at that. Luminous Knight immediately kind of gets hit up, unleashes the Rolling Thunder. A perfect play. There's simply just not enough time for Matcha to be able to get this defuse. It's going to be down to the wire, and it actually gets off there. It is going to be an 8-4 half as the Nighthawks barely squeak by.
Oh, Luminous Knights. It was, if you hit the Rolling Thunder, be thunderous. Be a roar of thunder and go in and get the kill. Like, they got stunned. They're going to be shooting one bullet every hour for like at least a little bit. Go forward and get your kill, especially if you use an ult on one person. That one should have been done a few seconds earlier, but with a win by the Warriors, that one's going to hurt a little bit more. They're going to be thinking about what to do in later steps post that. And look at this nice little dinner. This is what everyone's maybe going to be doing here on Valentine's Day. Not quite sure. Is that ham? What is that? Is that bread? I don't know what that is.
Maybe a turkey leg? Just, maybe, bisected? I don't know. That one's a little bit of a tough one, but so is that dart. It takes a couple of bounces there, gives plenty of time, but actually look at this. A very smart Molly just actually kind of coming out there, zoning out the crew completely. The Nighthawks, they've been undeterred on these pistol rounds. Let's see if they can make it happen again. Immediately shutting down that Sage is a great way to start things out.
Deterred by consequence, but they're still going to go and be rapscallions and seek out some of this conflict. You do have the fault line at least looking to take away those tight angles. T-Mill doesn't want to die too early before they can have a few extra shots against Maddie. Oh, but Maddie actually is maddening here outside of heaven. And having Oblivion looking to take a duel straight to him. Reload as they look at you. You have the shock dart or bolt coming through, and now you're stunned all the way back in corner and tree. But slow motion puffer put to the floor. And the defense for the Warriors really shown up.
A lot of information given here. Two coming in from heaven, looking around for the kills. Maddie's able to get yet another couple of them. It's going to be 3K4. Maddie looking for that fourth and will make it happen. Maddie, the consistent fragger for the Nighthawks. Shining once again. Now top of the leaderboard with 14 kills. As once again, we're seeing the Nighthawks take that pistol round.
Spicy Lemon on that Killjoy right behind him again is the other sub that came in for the Nighthawks after their Pearl round. And this team has still been fairly in control, been able to keep all of the Warriors at more double arms length. It's it's basically social distancing. Shout out 2020, way over there, I over here, but just keeping the Warriors. It's still just hoping, fiending to be able to get back into it, and they have the double digits right in front of them, which becomes that moment of resiliency. For some reason, as soon as you hit 10, everyone starts hitting forfeit in my ranked games. I don't know. Stop doing it, people. Guiding Light, they're gonna have so much shock. They know they're in the corner, and that is Luminous Knight down.
Yeah, and look at that. It's slow motion buffer just gets the space. Sure, they die in the middle of that chaos, but it doesn't matter. It's more than enough room for the Nighthawks to work off of. They're going to be able to close door. Plenty of time to set up. And look at that Killjoy lurking up in heaven. Spicy Lemon able to get 2 kills. You could tell that the Warriors just weren't expecting it all. And suddenly it's T-Mill up against the world. 1v4, only a classic in hand. Spicy Lemon going to have first contact on this one. And this one's looking nigh impossible.
T-Mill re-peeking into a sentry and the Killjoy just tee-heeing right behind it. They're gonna have to go stab the door. They're seen, they're haunted, it's a rough time. Oh my goodness, they're trying to stab them, but no, they're actually looking for the right click, and that's gonna be Maja that does finally finish it off. They were giving Spicy Lemon the chance to maybe go get a 3K, but you just see the aggression, you see the confidence, you see the Nighthawks saying, all right, Warriors, okay, we've got you all pinned down. But this one's gonna be interesting. You do have a few rifles being bought in. Warriors are going to have a lot. It looks like Luminous Knight maybe one of the few short. He's going to have full util at minimum. But the Nighthawks, I mean, this is kind of that mid-buy. This is that moment where if Warriors don't get this round, especially off of kind of bonuses, they're hard buying into it and getting those Vandals. This could be momentum that they can carry to the very end of the match.
And momentum is going to be the name of the game. If you're the ESU Warriors, you're not feeling too good about how these last couple of rounds went. The Molly is going to be expended here, and already the team is just flying through the relay bolts, hitting their target. Do see a little bit of a slow, but who else but Spicy Lemon coming in from behind, able to take one down, looking for that second, able to secure that kill as well. Slow motion buffer does get gunned down. Cosmisu able to take Spicy Lemon down. The spike is going to be going down. It's going to be 3v3 on this retake. The Nighthawks not given a total chance to get themselves set up on this post plant.
One of my favorite little phantoms right there. Love the champion sim that's on it. Trying to be able to find them from a distance, but they're going to back away. They even get scanned by the recon dart. To this 3v3, everyone's kind of hurt on the side of the Nighthawks, and the ESU Warriors are going to try and take advantage of that. Cosmisu, and he's going to be able to get one. Pika does the other with Matcha, so it's a 3v1. Maddie is going to have to sway and dismay this retake. The recon dart will be able to give them at least some value as T-Mill takes care of the rest, and that will be another round that goes over to the Warriors. 10-5. You know what? They don't get that big bonus, but they're still alive, and it's going to be they're within shooting distance. I say that because it's an FPS, but also because this one much more winnable, as the kids often say. But they gotta be able to get some consistency. It's been hither, thither, and yon of where they've been able to really find these round wins, and it's all of making sure they play a little bit more for life, keep the team up and alive for the later portion of the round.
Yeah, and on top of that too, the thing about the Warriors' play style is that they really are relying on a lot of those earlier frags. And I do think that they're doing a pretty good job as soon as they're able to get that one down. But look at this, actually. Pikachu's able to find one Cosmisu with the next one. This is setting up to be a very good Warriors round. And I do like the fact that they're very fast and moving in and making the space of the Nighthawks just completely get denied. Look at that. Epic Oblivion from behind. It's all coming up. The Warriors, the Nighthawks, now they're boxed in. A little bit of a half buy and not able to do a thing.
All right, Warriors. And of course, Epic Oblivion, a Brim and their Sky Smoke. Name me a better duo. That's going to be a push that will not be figured out by Maddie as they come out of logs, but Kay at least is able to get rid of Epic Oblivion, not falling for the trick. They actually do have Spike. Are they going to use her from the shadows? Gotta wonder. They're in a bit of a pinch, a pickle, and otherwise, and it looks like, yes, they will. Now, here's the play. Okay, they do go A. I would have thought it'd been funny because they were pushing so aggressively up into B main if they just went over onto B side. That would have been amazing.
Would have been something here, but the engagement's going to be coming through. Okay, crosshair plane. Oh, it doesn't matter. The double swing, it's just too much from the Warriors. The Warriors, a very confident round. Sure, they had the weapon advantage, but they made it look good regardless. So now they're going to be able to get up to 6 points. Only 4 rounds separating these two teams.
Well, Warriors, one step at a time. Last time they were able to get a couple of rounds in a row was the late term last quarter of the first half. So it's got to do the same thing continuously to keep the Nova Nighthawks from moving forward. Step by step, it becomes a little bit harder. You do have the op now in the hands of T-Mill, who has a Blade Storm as well, if they want to save that for later eco, and then the Bulldog over to Luminous Knight. And I get caught into ADSing with that all the time, and you get double swung, you better have been in like a lineup for both of them. But full Vandals, full guns, basically, for the most part. Epic Oblivion's going to have that Spectre, and you do have the lockdown to create space by Nighthawks, and T-Mail's going to walk away. That op is too precious.
Yeah, and on top of that too, just completely getting smoked out there. To me, that says that you're going to be moving in onto this A site, which is exactly what's happening. Look at this, they're even struggling to be able to move through. They are able to bait out the fault line, and so as a result, Fastlane has to get used in order to give a little bit of a smoke cover. And look at this, the Nighthawks, they actually decide to back out of this completely. They say they don't want anything to do with what's going on there, but Cosmisu, that is crispy. Not even ADS, it finds a little bit of a dink, and gets another bullet in just for good measure. And now, it's going to be up to the Nighthawks to try and get a little bit more mid-presence. Luminous Knight going to be swinging through, but K just able to find that pick as well, so it's now evened out 4-4.
Cosmisu showing me some facts that the Phantom can actually get a kill from distance. What am I doing wrong? My goodness. I didn't think that it actually could. It seems like it's just using Nerf bullets, but apparently this is going to be a re-hit as you have the Nighthawks. They did rotate all of halfway. Do they clear this corner? No, they don't, and that's going to be Oblivion putting them down. They get 3, maybe 4 right around the corner. They're just going to be able to re-pick into it, and they don't get it done, but it's Cosmisu that does. And the ESU Warriors, able to make it big. That was quite the play. Oblivion hanging on, trigger discipline, and swinging when they needed to.
We talked about momentum. Right now, the Warriors, feels like their train is chugging along very nicely after that round, especially too, that is just a little bit of a Spectre. No one even thought that Epic Oblivion was there, and that just completely shut down the round. You know, that's got to feel nice, and it's also gotten the Orbital Strike online for this next one. Both as well, Cosmisu is Pikachu's you. One ultimate orb away from getting their ultimates online, and I do think that this is a very good round for the Warriors. It's a very weird buy coming in from the Nighthawks now that they've kind of been in this weird forced situation, so they're gonna go for a little bit of a save, but nope, you're not gonna be able to activate that ultimate anytime soon. T-Mail completely shuts that one down with the Operator, and the Nighthawks sent back scratching their heads.
Oh, the overdrive. That's, all of a slide. You know what, T-Mail, that's got to feel so cathartic because they were killed in the exact same position when they popped their Blade Storm last half. So you're like, you know what? No fun, police. Go sit down. None of that. So they'll be put away, and that will immediately stunt the press for the Nighthawks to be able to get in any kind of presence, be it from mid, because you know that they're going to run that overdrive into Marketplace to be able to give themselves a push straight into B. But right now, they actually have Cosmisu on that long lane out in Boathouse as well. Pikachu's you. Going to be hanging out in Marketplace for first contact, but that will go over their head, so a half blind, and you do with the fault line as well. But this is dragged the entire defense of ESU Warriors. Maddie's going to have a clear, and they have all of A site. That's the call, and because you have one still hanging around in that lurk of B main, that's kept the presence of all the Warriors still in Marketplace. They're just now getting to read, oh wait, they're probably rotating away.
Yeah, and on top of that too, they've got the Seekers as well. At least isolate that positioning, but I just want to highlight Maddie's position. Maddie is in an excellent position right now. The Lurker lurking incredibly heavily, and look at this, no, actually loses the duel to a headshot. That would have been instrumental for this Nighthawks. Now, it's an Orbital Strike coming in first. Not going to find anything here, as we do see the Nighthawks scrambling to get their defenses in order. Matcha coming in from all the way in mid, able to pick up that rifle, but immediately baited by Cosmisu. It's going to be a nice, easy kill. Fault line going to be coming in. K just dancing around here. Goes in for it, but Epic Oblivion finds one. And look at this. It's forcing out the Killjoy ultimate. Cosmisu happy to meet it. And it doesn't matter. Epic Oblivion goes for the swing anyways. So it might have been a little bit of an unnecessary ult. But now, only 2 rounds separating these teams. The ESU Warriors are coming back, and they're coming back with a vengeance.
You know how you take your second step? You gotta take your first. That's what's been happening one after another. I know, to 3 deep 5 me. And right now, that's what the ESU Warriors are doing. They've taken 4 solid steps in the right direction. This one looked pretty bleak, pretty stark, pretty not fun for them, especially after they lost the first couple into this next half. But this is becoming more methodical by the moment. We got a real rifle round. We got an op in the hands of T-Mail. This defense is looking good. If the Nighthawks are to fail on this one, then we could be seeing ourselves go big into a 10-10, and they already take out Spicy Lemon. Luckily for the likes of the Nighthawks, there's no more lockdown, so it's not like they have to use up into that ultimate. But this is some confidence being built into the Warriors. They're trying to press up with some speed, and they're able to at least get one off Luminous Knight.
And Epic Oblivion still in that weird spot there, but is going to get spotted out this time. On top of that, too, the information given the Prowler going to go right for it. Spray through actually doing quite a bit. Look at that. It's a spray through from above from Cosmisu. That finds slow motion Puffer. Spike's still not down yet, and it's already down to a 2v4 scenario. They know where they are. Matcha goes down. Okay, last person left standing. Able to pick up one. Looking for a second. Is able to do that. Looking for that third, but there's just too much pressure. Getting it down to the wire a little bit closer. Regardless, the Nighthawks let another round slip away. It's now one round between these two teams.
Let's see, do they fully save? They're going to have some Vandals they're buying flat. They're going to have a Bulldog in the hands of Maddie, eco-weaponing it as best they can. And timeouts. Okay. So we haven't seen a timeout the entirety of this matchup. Even when it seemed like that streak would be endless on the Pearl map. And that was by the Warriors. And you know what? We keep playing. We keep playing. This is going to be rough. Whatever. We play. The Nighthawks are the first that they recognize, okay, this is a rough round. Do we buy? Do we save? Do we try to quit the cyclical nature of like save buy? Or what do we do? Because their attack has found no value and they have been losing first bloods over to the Warriors for the last 5 successive rounds.
Yeah, and quite frankly, that is simply just because T-Mill has this operator. We didn't get to see a lot of the operator being used on Pearl. Okay, I say that, but actually we saw a round where there were 3 operators. Regardless, though, Teemo with the operator looked pretty good on Pearl, and especially on a map like Ascent, when you know what's going on and you have these long sight lines down, that operator is making a huge difference. They're not even giving a chance for the Nighthawks to properly execute their attacks because they're already down a player by the time they want to move in onto the site. So excellent play coming in from T-Mill, just completely shutting down what is happening. And now, this is going to be a very interesting round. If the Nighthawks do force their way into this, which it looks like they kind of are, their economy might be a little bit shabby for this next round. The ESU Warriors, they want to make sure that they're able to pick this up. They've got 2 ultimates to work off of as well. That Rolling Thunder could be a huge deterrent for the site, or if I'm being honest with you, it's even better when you're trying to move in and retake the site, which they definitely have the weapons to do so.
Like they bought a bit for next. Pika! Oh my goodness, they're up on top of their own wall, but back staircase. You can't make that read. Often, if you're going to be able to see anyone up high, it's going to be on top of box from that backside CT corridor. But no, they're just on their wall. Because reasons. Why not? Cosmisu, currently the kill leader. That's why they're shining like gold. And already they get that first kill. Operator goes between the legs of the sky. So Teemo's like, how in the world did I not hit that? But either way, you have sheriffs in hand. This would have to turn into a big thrifty for it to find massive value. Epic Oblivion just trying to survive, and they will be put to the floor, and that's because slow motion Puffer is not going slow at all.
Yeah, now Luminous Knight has to come in here and try to defend it, but as soon as the glass goes off, that's going to be more than enough information. Regardless, Nova, Nighthawks, they're able to get in onto the site. Rolling Thunder comes in to deny the spike plant, but it is used a little bit preemptively. They can't really capitalize on any of these picks. It just gives the Warriors a bit more time to set themselves up. Luminous Knight going to be moving in for first contact, uses the Aftershock to pressure things a little bit more, but it actually allows K to step out there. Cosmisu ready for it anyways. 2v4 here. Spike going to be tapped now a couple of times. T-Mill good for it. Able to find one. They're not looking up in heaven. Maddie able to find 2, but it simply isn't enough. And the ESU Warriors, they get the defuse there. They tie things up. And just like that, things are looking a little bit dicey for the Nighthawks.
This is Warriors finally coming into their own skin. This is beautiful to see, Marks. But this also was the measure that the Nighthawks were expecting. Okay, all right, maybe not the 10-10, but for that previous round, that timeout in particular, they decided as a unit, as a team, you know what? We're not gonna buy. We're gonna half buy. We're gonna buy for next. We're gonna make sure that we have enough, because look at what they're into right now. They can be able to get full weapons. They're gonna have their Vandals, because that force looked very, very rough. And this is the weirdest looking shock or recon dart. just all right, just slow little boop. But this operator, T-Mill, has been a lethal force, a absolute cannon. This is a 3-2 split, so there's a lot of noise being made over at B, which is dragging away a couple players, at least into a mid-rotation. But they're also able to see at least one. That box, that brick will be able to peek it down as Maddie gets him off a wall bang, and the Warriors finally surrender first blood for the first time in a while, as 8 is the main hit.
And look at this. T-Mill trying to hold down mid, able to find the pick onto Spicy Lemon, and that's what you need to see. This is going to be a Prowler, though, that actually disables T-Mill completely and has to rotate out of here. Regardless, the spike is now down. It might not be the best buy, but the Nighthawks make it work. Plenty of time, too. The Warriors aren't even close to moving in onto the site, and by the time they got there, they have to execute extremely quickly. The clock is going to be against them on this rehit.
Trying to be able to keep it on the wrist. Where's the seconds ticking? They have to be able to find where everyone is sticking, especially into these corners. The blind is going to come out. No one's going to be affected because they're all hanging out, but that does give it away. The aftershock will get used over the shoulder, so they will be pressing off one. They come up middle of it, but they don't run to it. They've recognized and realized we are too late. That is a 3-man save, and Nighthawks get it back. They lose all of one player, and K is able to save themselves from being domed and blown up by the bomb, and then one does drop for the Warriors, so a little bit more expensive, but they can afford it. There's 8,600 credits in T-Mill's back pocket. I'm pretty sure they can buy for anyone for days, as you could probably buy a few ops and still have some time, but all right. Is that enough marks? Do you think the Nighthawks been able to rebound just fine going into this next round and regain some ground?
I think it's an important piece for their mental to remember, hey, we can do this. That was a little bit of a thrifty round coming in from them. Not all their team really had weapons, and they made that one work. What I want to see them do, though, is pick up that ultimate orb, just like we're seeing. Get the Nightfall online, take the site by storm, give the information in completely, and then it'll be a lot easier to move in. The Molly going to be used to deny it a little bit here, but it doesn't matter. Slow motion buffer going to be moving in first, and just like that, Luminous Knight goes down. Very fast, quick hit, and the spike is going to be down.
Luminous Knight going down is massive for a win condition for the Nighthawks, especially because he's been basically kind of the sentinel that's been able to, I mean, I know that's a role, but really has been kind of the avant-garde that's been able to keep all of the Nighthawks at bay. Slow motion puffer does drop in. That's going to be Oblivion that does find them as well. Oh my goodness, the defenders are finding them in surplus, and the orbital strike is going to force Maddie off corner from Wine. This should be a free defuse. Oh, and then they put up the logo. Why not? So that'll be 11-11. Warriors trade and smack right back as they're able to fend off all the Nighthawks attack. That kill feed filled up so fast with individual wins by the Warriors. That's something we've been asking of them to do, and they're able to just click heads just fine.
Yeah, honestly, I think that the Warriors, they're looking surgical when they play these retakes. Given the fact that they've got enough utility in their pocket, they can just move in very confidently, and they're playing these crossfires extremely well. You can see that when they swung in around generators, one person was looking from both directions to make sure that no matter what happens, they're going to be able to find something. So, the Nighthawks, they have to rethink their strategy. To be quite honest with you, I actually think that the B side is a lot easier for them to hit, given the fact that there is no Killjoy on this side. Maddie finds the first frag, and now I imagine this is going to be the go button. And yeah, okay, lockdown comes out. This is going to be this B side hit. Cause Misu in the back line, though, could be as dangerous as ever, taken out of the equation completely.
And then you do have Epic Oblivion that constantly has been able to kind of get behind enemy lines a time or two and be able to ruin people. That is Luminous Knight, though, that does stay alive off of the bang onto Matcha, but I'll be able to turn that into even more. The first team to 12 has a nice bit of padding that possibly could turn into OT. Prowler recognizes that at least one is hanging out in that CT corridor. T-Mill's going to get up on top of box, looking for someone to put a bullet hole into, but as long as they stay away, that won't happen. They take them as that is a bullet to the shin. They were a warrior like you, but that one could be putting them down. Luminous Knight, they're going to swing with, and they're trying to be able to get the crossfire out, and T-Mill takes care of them with a ghost. They have a blade storm. This is trying to just keep them away from 12, and they don't land it. They don't have a lot of HP. Oh, the spam won't be able to take them. Spicy Lemon takes care of business, and it's finally Nighthawks on match point.
Wow, 5 HP. The ghost almost did it as well. That's the one thing about an operator. It's not great if you're the last person left standing and you have to retake a site, especially too with the clock going against T-Mill. Even if the frag was found, I'm not 100% sure that the defuse would have been able to get in as well. Regardless, like you said, match point for the Nighthawks. If they win this, they win the series 2-0, send the ESU Warriors home. Their economy not looking the best. They're going to be having a little bit of half measures come in here. And actually, Slow Motion Puffer does have the overdrive online, so that could help as well. Get a little bit of ground, but has to be careful about T-Mill. As we've seen before, that operator can just shut that down with one bullet.
Yeah, and they're not going to go towards mid. You know for a fact that they're here to put some lightning into a bottle and into people's chest cavities if they can. So they're going to stay alive for as long as possible. Maybe be able to find out that both Knight and Oblivion have been hanging out in those corners. Same positions all the time. Fault line comes through. Just putting the Nighthawks at distance. But Oblivion is going to go all the way back into Garden. And just trying to be able to spam. Now slow motion puffer going very quick. They get a little bit of extra damage, but that's Oblivion that does stay alive, and they are taken care of as K is able to find 2, and they're trying to be able to find even more. The plant is going down. Slow motion puffer up under hell. They're going to hang out and wait. We could choose you. Looking to see if anyone will peek out from around generator, because K is actually just around the corner. The 3 remaining, they're all up in heaven. They got to be able to drop in, and they got to immediately make it known.
Okay, still can TP. Yeah, exactly that. Goes out, but tagged up by the recon drone. That's huge information. The res actually comes in online, but it's going to make slow motion buffer just swing out there. Teemo goes down to the crossfire. This is looking like it might be it. Hunter's Fury still online for Cosmu. Now, it's all down to a 1v1. Matcha looking for it. Gonna be going in. Can't quite secure the kill because Mizu finds it and forces out the overtime.
Oh, Cosmisu subbing in, and we're able to get it going. 3.71 seconds, never a sweat. 25 and 12, leading the entirety of this lobby in KDA. But, you know, been great efforts on the other side by K and Maddie, as they both have 2015 and 10, 2016 and 18, but it doesn't matter at all. None of that. You look at that streak right in the middle of the second half, 6 straight rounds as the Warriors kept marching. We got an OT here, Marks, in map number 2, which will decide whether or not we see that third rendition of this current series.
Yeah, and both of these teams look excellent on their defense. I think that's kind of the moral of the story here. They had more rounds on it. Obviously, a much larger string of rounds coming through from the Warriors, but that doesn't take away from the fact that, yes, in general, it might be the team that wins on the attack that is going to really determine how this overtime goes. You have to win 2 in a row in order to make sure that you secure this map. And yeah, are we going to be seeing the end of the series, or are the Warriors going to be able to come back? This time, they've changed it up. They're moving all the way down mid alone. No utility used at all, but slow motion puffer just on the other side here, ready for the swing. Tosses out the relay bolts, but gets domed by Epic Oblivion.
You know what? That does at least slow things down. They could have been marching all the way in past Garden already. Now they have to be able to get it back on site. This is going to be a planned retake by the Nighthawks, and put the Aftershock up, able to keep them from around the corner. You know someone's going to be hanging out in hell. Get rid of the recon dart as well. It's a 5-man hold by the Warriors. Door's about to be broken, but guess what? Door number 2, Electric Boogaloo, will be right behind it. So, Warriors hanging on tight. And you were talking about maybe that attack being the difference maker, being the win condition. Oh, nice little tap by K. Little kiss with it, as this will become a 4-on-3, and that defense is starting to come out real big for the Nighthawks.
And in here, Maddie able to secure a kill, can't look behind. Cosmisu able to find 1. Now it's just down to a 2v1, a little bit of an accidental paranoia, but Cosmisu can't see a thing either. Matcha just on the other side of it. K has to stick the defrag there. He's able to get the kill, and there's more than enough time to get this defuse off, so it will be the Nighthawks being able to find the first round, forcing match point yet again. And it's going to be up to the Warriors to respond in their defense.
Match point.
Warriors were able to find footing in the middle of that second half. Can they find their footing in a moment's notice after the flip-flop that we have to go through for this? One thing that I always kind of wonder if they would ever implement into OT is you start, you opposite of, like, for how you first started the match, but seeing the stagger start and then like restart. So if you went like attack defense, then do defense attack, kind of do something like that. Just give a chance for to kind of stagger back. I'd like to see something like that maybe be implemented, but even more so, Pika, will they be cheeky enough, clever enough with this interesting position on top of their wall? They've done it a few times before, but this is a 1-4 split, as you have Maddie opposite of everyone. That's going to either try to clear A site off of a lot of noise from B. This is the cerebral play. Can the Nighthawks get it done with this initial opening?
This is interesting, because usually you see Spicy Lemon, the Killjoy, be the person who is moving around on that flank. But I think that Maddie is more than a suitable candidate, given the fact that Maddie's been fragging out. All Maddie really needs to do is find at least 1 kill. And on top of that, too, the Warriors' defense, you can read that like a book. You know exactly where some of these agents are going to be hanging out. And just like that, I wonder if the Nighthawks are going to try and make this engagement happen onto this B site. They're doing a good job at deterring the Warriors from defending that B. And so Pika chose you, the only person in the back of sight and not even on top of the barrier orb anymore. So this could be good if the Nighthawks decide to move.
Oh, but the slide in, and they're gonna be able to get some big value. Pikachu Zoo takes down slow motion Puffer. They're gonna be able to do the same thing. It's just a kill feed for Pikachu Zoo until they are part of it. K is able to get a headshot, and they do lose a couple of compatriots in the long run. The plant will be going down, and now this is on the rehit as well as they're coming through Marketplace. But they're positioning out in mid. Matcha is gonna get a wall bang, and the Cosmisu, one of their biggest warriors as well, as 25 and 12 is now just waiting to be on a shelf. K holding on. 12 seconds. Plant isn't down. They have to get that spike down or else they're going to lose this round. And that's going to be another for Maddie. They put the Nightfall out there and the plant finally comes down. It's a 2v1 to their big gun. It's a 1v1. T-Mill has to run it down. They get their decayed health back. Oh, Marks, this is going to be rough.
Down to the wire. K still has a Paranoia available. As well as one more Shadow Step. Has to play so carefully. Knows that this operator is extremely deadly. T-Mill now going to be going for it. It's the perfect Paranoia. T-Mill comes out, and just like that, K goes for the swing. The timing is immaculate, and the Nighthawks close out the series 2-0 against the ESU Warriors.
Warriors coming back strong, but it's sadly going to be just a little bit short. But hey, for the Nighthawks, that's fantastic as they're able to go to OT, make it just one single effort. And I was really worried about that one, Marks, because I was like, did that spike go down? Oh, the timer's still ticking. It did not go down until the waning seconds of that round, but then it became just T-Mill could be able to get that swing. That is so tough to do against someone that can teleport, a wily phantom, if you will. But what a fight in that second map. The first one, just you wash that away. Warriors, though, showcasing how much they could be able to bring it back, especially. And that's some great film they're going to have for themselves in later days. But what a match in that second map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you take a look at the Ascent compositions there, by any meta composition, you would expect that the Warriors probably weren't going to be in the best situation. But they made that work, and honestly, they were really giving the Nighthawks a run for their money. Once again, forced them all the way to overtime. So good stuff coming out from this team, but unfortunately just falling a little bit shy towards the end there. As the Nova Nighthawks Violet, man, they looked really good. They got to keep Pearl in their rotation because they were just steamrolling on it.
You know what? That's going to be one of those things too. Other teams are going to recognize, oh no, they play Pearl, and they're going to start practicing a lot and recognizing.
Stay away. Yeah.
Oh no, don't want any of that. But for right now, we're done. 2-0 go over to the Nighthawks, and you know that's going to be something for the ESU Warriors to really pick up on. But hey, he's going to be picking up on another matchup. I will be here for Marks will, and awesome. Marks, it was so great being able to cast alongside yourself. I'm hoping this next one is just as good.
Fingers crossed. I mean, hey, you never know what's going to be on the other side. Like we said, it's still really early on in the season, so anything could really happen, and we're seeing a couple of surprises already, so very excited for what our next match is going to be.
Yeah, RPI versus Siena College. Can Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, which is a really cool name to say, be able to take down Siena College and stay perfect on the season? It's going to be the Challengers Metropolitan Division coming up right after this.
everyone, my name's Orbital, and welcome to the NECC Highlighted. With so many amazing matches and so little time, we wanted to make sure you didn't miss out on any of the action. Because of that, we wanted to compile some of the best and some of the funnier moments of the NECC week to week. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some of the highest highs here in week number 1.
And Phantom maybe caught out with timing and is, oh my goodness, what may happen here? B-site being collapsed upon by NAIT, and they're walking out of main as soon as they look away. Market, seemingly Echoic has just seen it, but not fully aware. They're watching across for the turtle play from Kira, which we can see they may not know. Echoic has been cleared out of position. Phantom still finds the kill onto Kira. 4v4 as it stands.
I mean, this has just been a crazy situation of timing after timing going on here. Park trying to move forward. Ayo, though, from the side, connects onto 2. And the plant will go down. Phantom trying to work their way back in and has the help of Funman. But Ayo has the read, and Ayo could be on for the ace and will do just that. I said he's been heating up, and he now flourishes once again. The ace.
A bunch of blast X guns that actually legitimately shoot Nerf darts in game. I think we should just do that across the board, quite simply. Not because I've been waiting a year for the blast X fan to come to my shop again, but because it just feels like they don't really do what they're supposed to. But we need to see still a little bit of these ultimates and the economy of that going to the side of Carlton to keep in mind. So St. Cloud, they've had themselves an outstanding effort thus far, and they're making sure to get some really clean trades, especially when Q's doing stuff like that. Hunter's Fury, it's on the gun.
Q, 4K, Vandal, already. What was once a 3 clears out the player hiding in Pizza, and unfortunately that was their last.
I mumbled, I knew it. I saw Beezer on Sens, and I thought the original idea was to either cut off the guy who's playing elbow or blue bunker, but I was like, they don't have a blitz, so why would they rush blue bunker? Nope, they switched to blitz, and now they're going to go for it, which, sure, this worked the first time, but now Akron is really prepared for this rush, and yeah, instantly denied. Warrior, opening gunfight. Blitz rushes in, but the shield is not going to be enough to thread the needle, but eventually he gets it done, but an instant trade by the player up inside a freezer, and in the background, the Vulcan Pat will finish off Robe, leaving just Gohan trapped in his own coffin. The Zips swiftly deny this round from being won by Fisher, as they once again do not deny, and Beezer didn't even get to use his projector on the ROU.
I feel like that's
difference. You know, Voltabits just puts those gold coins into a pillowcase and pulls it out to whack a miscreant over the head with, because that's essentially what's happening, is that there's no way for MU to really survive the gold difference right now. Any member of King's College is just drastically ahead. It's relatively close in bot lane right now between the two pairings, but the other 3 roles, it's swung so far away from MU that it's going to be hard. Now they're looking for Volt.
Souls and Voltabis in a lot of trouble. You're going to see the ult coming out. Voltabis uses the stopwatch, but Doge's going to pick up 1-4 is the encore, and that should mean they win this one. Voltabis is still alive. Triple kiss for the victor. Quadra kill for the victor. Oh my goodness. I thought Voltabis was certainly dead there. They win a 3v5.
Early and try and take positioning. It almost seems like they have gotten scored off on like takeaways, on turnovers, right? Instead of like Ohio State, like really formative passes into points. Thus far, they cleaned that one up. This will be a much more interesting series. But hey, you know, not that it's a bad one by any means so far. Still plenty of time. 3 minutes. White stripes, left side. Gets the past one. Luker just goes screaming past this one. There's a nice little offensive setup until Danwad gets up and interrupts it.
Julian had such a great drive to try to create that opportunity, and they're just not able to finish. Toronto are gaining a little bit more space, but now they need to execute when it counts most, right in front of the goal. Oh, Luker! Just absolutely danced and dodged her on everyone. Tugboat, that was spectacular.
Yeah, we got a couple flats out here on aisle middle. I don't know. That was brutal. Some broken axles or something like that. A perfect dribble right across.
Of course, not everything always goes to plan. Blunders do happen no matter how hard we try. From players to teams to even production, here's this week's misclicks. You ain't have any heart, you didn't have any faith.
Well, faith, heart, hope is still alive. So where there's life, there's hope. I guess maybe.
Oh, okay.
I can honestly, you're a Yumi. There is no hope on your own. Faith, heart, hope is. I feel like you're playing with fire by sticking around here. That turret goes down. Look at Sepia. Sepia is already threatening kills.
The final chapter with almost no one there means a follow-up. Yeah, you're gonna be a little bit slow. Can you get?
Twinton.
Oh, wait, Faith, you're supposed to hop on. Twinton doesn't have a kitten. No, Faith, no! That's a misclick if I've ever seen one. That one feels bad. Another misclick in the top side as Panda is going to fall to Cheesecake. We said it.
And you have a Rolling Thunder. And yeah, like you said, there was some very early ultimate eco that was just pushed through as the orbital strikes came on, and just so much separation and so much damage in these early rounds. Wouldn't think you'd find that so quickly, but both these teams are really like kind of pressing the attack, trying to go for these ult orbs, and Pearson will be trying to be the tip of the spear as well. You get identified. They have a triple swing.
Oh no! Oh!
Killed the teammate.
Yes! Yes, I love it. Welcome to the showstopper where you stop everyone in their tracks, not just the opponents. Welcome to Friendly Fire, the only friendly fire that is accepted in Valorant. That works in UBC Black's advantage. Because I feel like they're going to look at the wave as well, and it affords a few more bushes because Cheesecake's going to go over the wall. And they're still waiting. Look at the patience. They have not moved an inch. You'd think they'd be playing against Rek'Sai, but the check goes through, and look at the damage. Billy Boy actually gets a humongous set of damage off. Liquify's taken quite low, and remember, that's a jungler. They want to take him down as quick as possible. Liquify, don't jump over the wall. You do not want to jump over the wall right now. More poke lands from Billy Boy. And they're still going to be fighting. Cheesecake wants it. Cheesecake wants to, but Faith is again caught out. And now they're forced to fight. Paranoia goes in. They segment everyone off. And the knockup is there. They're going to try and stay on the course. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. We are getting a slideshow right now because that's all we have. The amount of fighting that will be going on will be there. And oh my gosh, at the wrong time, the final, what felt like the final team fight, I think just broke our observer.
That final roll, like you said, that is the game deciding fight. That is literally the fight to end all fights, and it ended.
Week 1 is done. With all the crazy action that happened in week 1, we don't want to miss a single moment of week 2. So if you see a funny moment, an amazing moment, or just a downright weird one, clip it and send it to us, and maybe we'll feature it here on the next NECC Highlighted.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the NECC Valorant. It's week number 2. My name is Marks. This is Orbital, and we've got a pretty interesting game in front of us, don't we, Orbital?
Oh yeah, we got some fun here. It was a tango to get them all in the lobby, but I think that's kind of how it always goes, right? And I love it because again, these teams are still trying to figure out exactly what they want to do and how they want to work things out. We have the ever so amazing. It is, oh my gosh, my life does not want to work there. It is RPI White versus Siena College, and the fun thing again is I do like some of these teams specifically because Siena College had to forfeit their week 1 matchup. So I love to see teams that are still trying to give themselves that opportunity, still have a little bit of time to really make their mark here. So really hoping they show up.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's take a look at some of these rosters of these teams that are going to be coming in tonight. Starting things out with RPI. We got Rymaster, Love, Defenstrations, Ayub, and EXO. On top of that, too, I'm not going to lie, I really like the RPI logo. I think it's actually incredibly neat.
Yeah, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute White. This is a squad that, of course, in the Challengers division, I believe AU we've actually seen in previous seasons as well. As you can tell, they are a junior in computer science, so actually all of them are computer science majors, so definitely have a lot going on in terms of camaraderie and hopefully synergy, I would hope to say, and especially since they won their first week matchup against Cornell B, and that was a 13-7, 13-11. Yes, game 2 was close, but 13-7, pretty standard all the way through, so I really like it.
Yeah, and now let's take a look at our other team, Siena College. This is going to be the first time that we're going to be seeing them in the NECC bracket. Of course, they weren't here last time around, but we've got Low-Key, Jaram, She Hurt Me, Mampa, and Osiu. And I think that this is going to be a pretty interesting lineup now that we're actually going to see them in action.
Yeah, and I will say I'm very scared of She Hurt Me because I don't know if you've been on TikTok, but anytime someone's been hurt, they pop off, right? Like, that's what the whole meme is there. But She Hurt Me. If you name yourself that, I expect either a phenomenal time or, you know, kind of down in the dirt. So it's one or the other, and I'm very excited to see. But as I said, very excited to see what the squad can do. And again, when you take a forfeit in week 1, or when you take a forfeit anytime, the next game, it feels like the team is out to play even harder, right? They have something to prove. They didn't want to forfeit last week, and, you know, that's kind of how it goes. They're just like, hey, we want to play hard. We want to show what we still got to go, and we're gonna take it. So RPI White better be ready for this.
I mean, hey, RPI White technically got the stretches in last time around, but let's head over to our map vetoes now because we've got all of the maps selected for this best of 3 lineup. Our first map we're going to be going to is Ascent, and then we're going to be moving over to Haven, and if that third map, if we need it, it's going to be Icebox. And if I'm being honest, what other maps did we really expect to see?
I was about to say the same thing. Like, at this point, don't even show the maps. Like, we're fine, right? Like, we know what's going to come. We don't need to worry about anything else. We know Pearl and Lotus are going to be taken now, or, you know, Pearl or Lotus and Fracture or something of the sort, right? Ascent and Haven and Icebox, this is the standard, in my opinion. Now, we have seen some people vary it up, right? Taking Icebox in the second or even first map rotation, but a lot of teams still prefer the Ascent and Haven. They still prefer that old, you know, these have been the standards for so long. So I'm very, very excited to see what these teams can do and what they can bring out here. Of course, with the swap up though, and I really, really like this part, both teams will have a chance to start on the attack and defense first. And so that is something I think that's not always seen. Some teams do prefer, you know, the defense or the attack a lot of the time. So I like this kind of change up for us here.
Yeah, and now we're just going to be loading into Ascent here. For map number 1, Siena, like you said, going to be starting us out on our defense, while it is going to be RPI going in on the attack. And quite frankly, when it comes to Agent Select, I think that it's a little stock standard at this point, specifically on Ascent, a map that is very practiced. And on top of that, too, ever since Chamber's kind of flown out the window, things have really just kind of solidified that there is a very specific combination of agents that you want to be coming in here. And right now, we're seeing quite a few of them being teased.
Mm-hmm. You can actually take a look down the side of RPI, and it feels like the OG Valorant just came out, right? Outside of Sky, you can see just everyone kind of teaming, and same on the flip, right? Jerome is the only one that is working with that Fade, one of the newer agents there. And so, as you said, very stock standard and actually mirrored pretty much to an extent, right? The Jet and the Killjoy, these are two very needed agents to carry over in terms of the aggression that it can lay down, as well as the defensive side, right? If you're not running Killjoy at this current moment, it's
What are you doing?
not good at that point. That's all I can really say. Like, if you're not running Killjoy, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit surprised, though, that we are getting a fade coming in from Sienna. I think that fade really worked out well when you bring in a raise, obviously talking of hero synergies, but we're actually going to be seeing 2 initiators coming in the sense of Sova and Fade. Usually they go interchangeably on the maps, either you pick one or the other, but it's very rare that we actually see those 2 agents coming in side by side. And so to me, that says that Sienna are going to be playing a really big information game and then trying to push based on what they can kind of scout out with those 2 agents.
If they're running that type of information gathering, we also expect in the same breath for them to be reactive, right? If they have the information, we should expect them to be rotating quite quickly and to adjust to what RPI White are going to do as well, because that's what the information game gives you. You are supposed to be able to rotate quickly. You are supposed to be able to make snap decisions with this information. You're not just supposed to say, hey, I see them on A. Good to go. I'll keep sipping my coffee, right? That's not the right answer here. So with that notification and that stylization of we are running information gatherers, it has to lead into, hey, we are going to be using this information. And that's what RPI White are going to try and lay into as well. They know this as well. If they've done their homework, they know what these agents do, right? So they should have the exact same thought process.
And look at that, already a lot of mid-aggression coming in from RPI White. They take so much space. Love immediately forced out to use the tailwind to escape that shock bolt. So deadly on these early rounds, but OCU not going to be able to find anything. Rymaster tosses a little bit of electricity in the defender's area. And just like that, that's going to be RPI White taking the site, taking one of the members of Sienna down, and that spike is going to get planted.
The fact that they got that so easily as well, it leads me to one RPI White being very decisive and finding the pincer. Love gets 2. 2 love taps makes it work. Low key, not very low key about that snap back, but it's a 2v4. RPI White found the flank, and now they get to molly him off. They get to force him inside into this cubby. Now into the back here. B-site. It's going to be a pain, right? Sienna College, you can't do too much here. And you fall 4 left alive for RPI, and that is a massive win for them.
And usually when we talk about Ascent, obviously when you talk about a rush, it's either in onto A main or B main, right? You don't really expect to see that mid-style rush so fast and furious. And I think that's the reason why that RPI White were so confident in being able to take that space. Sienna College were simply just unprepared for that level of aggression. And they got kind of run over by the truck. As a matter of fact, they got hit by the truck on the truck's crazy pathway. It was just so easy for RPI White to get themselves set up afterwards. A very clean pistol round. And look at this, already a couple of Vandals coming in.
Ooh, that's some cheek right there. That's saying we know we can win this. So a lot of smarts here, and I mean it's gonna do work one way or another. It's going to do quite a bit of work. She hurt me is able to grab 1, but nothing more than that. I think that's the Eris coming out for Rymaster as well. So having a lot of fun here. Again, RPI, they should win this one. It's all about how many members they're going to lose. So far, they only lose 1. That's a lot better than most other teams can do in the second round. So out they go. Sienna College looking to try and save here, but Love on the top rope said, Love conquers all. Sorry, you can't run away from it.
It almost seems like Valentine's Day is going to be tomorrow or something. Love can run completely uncontested. That Vandal is going to be kept over, and most importantly as well, Demonstrations also had a Vandal, and that one is recovered too. So given the fact that that was a near flawless round, RPI White in such a fantastic position to run this bonus. Sienna College, this is going to be their gun round, but they have to make sure that they win this one. And it's not as much in their favor as they would like, but of course they might be able to make it happen. Love probably going to be trying to get that ultimate orb to get the Blade Storm online to compensate for the fact that there is no rifle kind of coming in there. And so let's see how this one shakes out. It's going to be the start of the round here. Got to pick up that ultimate orb on A, and it seems like Love will be able to do just that.
You're going to be quite happy about that one, and they're full guns blazing. There we go. A little bit of a ticker, and knives are ready to go. So RPI going to be playing pretty fun with this, but again, the Fade saying, you don't get to do that for free. We know at least 1 or 2 members are along this side, so we'll happily take that information to boot. But you can see how passive they're playing, right? No control over mid currently by Sienna. They are fully giving ground to RPI, even with guns available, and saying, we're going to try and take you on these corner routes. We're going to try and take you in these situations. I think Spotted Out Love was spotted on that catwalk.
Nice and slow. Just like you said, RPI really taking their time, but they're forcing out quite a bit of utility from Sienna College. Hurt me, gonna go up and swing into heaven. Engagement's gonna be happening. RPI starting to move in here, using the Owl Drone first to try and scout things out. Jerome gets the first one. It's gonna be trades back and forth. Love moving in, looking for something, but it's Manpa from Tree, able to find 2. Now this is looking a lot more dicey. RPI down just to Love. Able to pick up a Phantom, but not looking the other way. Low key from up top. Able to find that kill, and Sienna College, they get their first round.
That's solid, right? They play it slow, they play it smart. The information was gathered, and RPI White take a little bit of a beating, but remember, that was a giveaway round. Even though they had weapons in hand, they could still buy up here. Full buy. On top of that one, they did expend the Blade Storm, which is, you know, negligible now that you had the Vandals, so the entirety of RPI White should be quite happy with the upcoming round. They should be feeling pretty good about what's going to happen. Of course, for Sienna College, I want to see what they can do, right? They won one round. They still don't really have any ultimates available for themselves. And unfortunately, that recon doesn't do anything for them. It is going to force a chase, though. Huge jump in by RPI. They're going for the site, no matter what. A hard chase on to be as Love annihilates Loki. Osu is going to fall as well, as that is going to punch a little bit of a rough time by our observer. This round is causing some chaos.
Yeah, Love barely able to survive there, only has 1 HP. And now, it's going to be a 3v5 onto this retake. We're going to be seeing Sienna College start to move in. The Prowlers are going to go in first and try and get a little bit of information. She hurt me. Got on the other end of the gun barrel. Mamba trades it back, but Rymaster just around for the alley-oop. Now Jerem all alone up against 4. A couple of ultimates online for RPI if they need it. But Ayub just comes around the corner. Doesn't even need it. EXO secures the kill there. And that is yet another round for RPI White.
That was solid right there. And again, it seems like B's their site choice here. You can see it again. Yes, do it again. So of the 4 rounds, 75% of the time they've gone to B. And of that 75% of the time, 100% of the time they won, right? Like, stats don't lie, even though it's only 4 rounds. So far, though, very nicely done by RPI White. They have done very, very well and kind of battening down that hatch of B-side works for us. We're going to keep going until they actually learn to defend against this position. And the fact is, Sienna College they are leaving it alone. The Mampa up on top is able to trade 1 for 1, and that's going to call for the quick rotate.
And actually, that lockdown doing more than enough to try and flush out the defenders. So Defenstration's able to make it in pretty easily. Now, the spike should be able to get planted. It's going to be a 4v4 onto this retake. An orbital strike still available for the attackers, and that could be huge to stall things out.
Of course, you got to find the time for it. You got to find the right time. You got to wait for that perfect moment. And I mean, listen, my namesake cannot be used just to push someone off the site. I'm sorry. Can't do that. Defenestrations, though. Santos you to death. She hurt me. Finds Rymaster through the wall. Finds a second.
Excuse me?
She hurt me. Is looking for everyone, and Loki's able to flank on the side. What a turnaround. AU says alley-oop. Make sure to stay out of my sight. That one's going to slow him down. And the molly off on the edge as well. She hurt me, takes a U, but I don't think they're going to get it. Yes, they are. I lied, Jerome.
No, not enough time.
Jerome? Yeah, not enough. All right, there we go. That is the round. And you know what? You lost all 5 members, but you get the round instead. 4-1 to RPI White.
Wow. First of all, great understanding of how to play that one from RPI White. They made sure that Ayub was able to just run as far away from the site as possible, of course, within earshot, so you can hear when it's going to be happening there. But fact of the matter is, Sienna College, they just ran the clock down a little bit too much. They were so good on that retake. They were able to clear everybody out pretty flawlessly, if I'm being completely honest with you. It just came down to that stall. So that one, a little bit of a momentum killer here, but it's going to be a little bit of a weird scattered buy coming in from this squad, including an operator from She Hurt Me. Blade Storm is available as well. Keep in mind that lockdown could be utilized at any moment for anything, really. And let's see, RPI White, they're getting themselves set up and ready to move in onto this A site. Oh!
To be fair, She Hurt Me had a great round last time, but this time around it's not going to be the same. And the quick toss down, Love said, hey, no, you're not playing with that anymore. I'm sorry. That's our gun. to hang on to. RPI take a storming blow here as Siena College have to make do with 3. They were not able to take out a single member, and quite honestly weren't even able to get damage down. I don't think Sky had to do too much there, and Rymaster gets a shock bolt kill. This is utility out the butt as EXO finds OCU. Is this going to be a flawless round? Yes it is, as Rymaster drops a 3K.
Yeah, this is kind of insane. RPI White are so fast with their attacks. They get that spike down almost like they're speedrun in Valorant or something like that. And they're able to get into all the post-plant positioning that they could want in the world before Siena College even have an opportunity to get themselves set up. It feels so rehearsed and well done that that's the reason why RPI White seem like they're completely just running away with these rounds. There isn't an opportunity for Siena College to even knock open the door. By the time they're starting to figure out what has happened, it's simply too late. RPI White have already done everything that they need to do, and it's making it so difficult for Siena to even find a kill.
They're moving at a very, very quick pace, and right now with Siena College also a little bit low on the weaponry.
Ooh.
Or not so low as I thought. I forgot last round was actually the low round. They're going to have some fun here. That's going to be an opener for Siena College. Again, with the chase on A, Jerome said, yeah, listen, we gave it to you last time. We ain't giving it to you this time. We're going to light you up as much as possible. AU finds Jerome through the wall. Great shot there. Defenestrations saying, no, not today.
Paranoia.
Paranoia goes down, but low-key. Low-key finds EXO's head. OCU finds 2! And that's all 5. Siena College coming alive.
Yeah, that looked like another clean round. When Siena College have the opportunity to get themselves set up, they're very clean on their executes. I do think the lockdown might have been a little bit too much pressure, but you know what? You got to make sure that you win this round. It was pivotal given the fact of where the economy was at for Siena College. This way, they're not forced onto a save in the next one. They'll make sure that they have rifles coming into this one and can contest RPI White. If you are RPI White, this is going to be the round where I want to start seeing some of those ultimates come out. I want to see that lockdown used to gain site control, and then once again, similar to how AU played it, Rymaster needs to just back off, use that Hunter Streak from afar, play the stall game down, because you know that if you give Siena College an opportunity to get themselves assembled, they're going to look darn good on that retake.
Oh, man, this is going to be a bit dastardly if they do follow what you said, Marks. I mean, I do agree there, but the question is, do they need to? Right now, it's a 1-for-1. Couple shots through the wall means it's going to be a quick trade back, but AU says, that's going to be a kill there, and 3v2. Siena College looking with 2 left, and with their own Hunter Series, I don't know how much they can do here. It is going to be a quick latch on, actually does tag, and finishes AU, so down to a 1v2, and gets another tag on the back end. So it is going to be enough to make it a 2v2. With the attacker lockdown, it will force that plant. And Loki and teammate will have to find their way back in later.
Area's clear.
It's again 2v2 here. Still a lot of that Silva utility available to get into this re-engage. The only thing that's going to be taken against them is going to be that clock. You have to see Siena College move, and move with purpose. Storm Grenade going to be popped a little bit early. And kind of leading the charge here as the turret set up. The Recon Bolt going to be going in. I'm not sure that they're aware of what's going on. It's a huge pop flash, but nothing just found just quite yet. Defenestration's able to pick up one. Low-key can't find anything. Is blinded off of the site, and just like that, it is going to be a nice, easy round again for RPI White, but it's an expensive one as Siena College don't go down without dragging him kicking and screaming.
That... Rymaster almost got another kill and was going to be real happy about that, but again, as you said, the round was over, right? It was a very nice play overall by RPI. Siena College, though, as you said, made it very, very expensive, forcing RPI to have to take that fight. You know, you don't have a way back out. You're going to lose your weapons either way, but needless to say, RPI are still sitting with 6 rounds. They have 4 ultimates up. They only used the lockdown just last round, so they have the Blade Storm, they have the Orbital Strike, they have the Hunter Series, they have everything, if they get the plan down, to mess with Siena from start to finish a plan.
The big question here is, she hurt me with that operator. That has been instrumental for Siena College to be able to win some of these last rounds. When Siena College get that first blood, looks a lot more clean from them. Fortunately, not going to be the case this time. Love able to find Jerem. And just like that, you can see Siena College, they're nervous, they're backing off of here, but Loki goes into the smoke looking for something, now is aware that the positioning is here, the swing comes through, but it is going to be a trade out front.
trades again and again are working in RPI White's favor, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. Ayub saying, all right, I got the plan, and because we have everyone that we need up, we can simulate what a Viper would like to do here and just shellac from afar. And Siena College is just like, we don't even want to touch this right now. We're actually going to save, which I think might be interesting. And I mean, they were able to grab a Phantom. If you see, oh, you see the gun, but you don't get the kill. The Fenestration's able to crouch and shoot perfectly.
Jeez. I don't know if I agree necessarily with that call to save, but I think that just shows you what the mental state of Siena College is currently at. They're not confident enough to push in because they don't know whether or not they're going to be able to win that fight. They have to start taking some of these opportunities, though. And to their credit, RPI White have been putting on a showcase on Ascent thus far. Their attacks have looked extremely good. They're setting up the appropriate flanks necessary. They're moving in and taking the site by storm. It's looking incredibly good from them. And now they have 3 ultimates to work off of as well. I don't know. Right now, RPI White, they're in the driver's seat and they're keeping the truck rolling.
If they let off the gas at all, they just don't want to see what Siena can do, right? They're just like, listen, we got 1 win last week. We're going to do it again. And it feels like it because they have a judge on Love who is going to be blasting their way through with the Blade Storm as well. But the op here, she hurt me. Going to try and do their best. That's going to be a snap kill, but you don't get anything. Rhymaster with the Odin is going to fire through. OCU says, give me a chance. That's the 3K. Defenestrations, though, changes it to a 2v2. And just like that, the initial entry into B has been stalled out, but at what cost?
Smoke's down.
I mean, this is going to be a little bit tough here. We're going to be seeing RPI White just move in onto this A site, and they should be able to get the spike down fairly easily. They don't really have the utility to make it, but thankfully, nobody from Siena College is going to be around. And honestly, there should be more than enough time to allow that Killjoy to set up a lot of that utility to make it that much more of a trap. And look at that. It's going to be a lockdown as well. No Hunter's Fury to contest this one. A couple of shock bolts. They better have good geometry if they want to make that one happen. Low-key, though, able to at least pick up 1. And look at this, gets caught up into it. This is just going to be a stall the clock down game coming in from RPI White yet again.
Oh, yeah. They got it. They know what they have to do. This is, again, the frustrating part of playing against this type of composition. You can do it from anywhere. You know exactly what you have to do. And Loki, oh, look at this one. I love this right here. You have no idea. You get that kill. You kill the diffuser, and you know you got it. You even pick up the clutch. Yeah. You are the star right now. You may be middle of the pack for kills, but you are more than enough to create these clutch moments.
And honestly, it's just that good knowledge of playing that post-plant positioning. You know, you don't have to go for the kills. You can set yourself up in trickier positions further away from sight and just let your utility be the thing that ticks the clock all the way down. And just like that, we see RPI White at 8 and Siena College only at 2. Not a lot of ultimates online for either of these squads. It was a little bit of a heavy investment from RPI White these last couple of rounds, but that's important to make sure they keep their momentum rolling. Once again, they're going to be moving in very quickly onto this B side.
This is one of the few times we've actually seen someone sit around with the econ of about 5K left in the bank, and it's because they're feeling good about this. Love from the top ropes is immediately going to be snapped up. Low-key bringing the bird shot out. Snipes Love out of the air. Defenestrations putting up the defenses, saying, give us a moment, we're going to get the plan down. And again, it is that B site. They love this site so much. It just works so well for them. What can Siena do? It's a 4v4. It's not impossible. But it is slightly improbable with how the last few rounds have gone. Ayub hiding in again with the shorty, just wants that perfect shot. She waiting. Gonna be taking a chance. Swings left. Looks on the back line. Loki able to find definition from Rhymaster and Exo. Exo from the boathouse swings hard. 1v2 left. Manfa not gonna enjoy this one because look on the backside. Ayub again with the final kill of the round.
That's unbelievable. Ayub, always the last person alive, making sure that that spike is going to be going off completely. We're already down to the last round in this half. Been looking incredibly one-sided, but this is not to count Siena College just out just quite yet. It will be able to force everything up. Just a little bit of a judge, which was super effective against Love, to be fair. But 3 ultimates as well. Specifically, that lockdown as well as Hunter's Fury could do absolute wonders. The question is when they use them and making sure that they're utilized on top of as well. You can use the ultimates as much as you want, but unless they're done smartly, it doesn't really give your team that much. Love, though, immediately down.
I'd also like to point out that RPI White did pick this map, so of course any map pick feels like it does give advantage to the picker. Low key though, with that shot, he is making it quite fun here. Rymaster on the back end does have that Odin and is getting ready to spray through the smoke once again. This has been their bread and butter for the last 3 rounds. I think they have an Odin for the last 3 rounds, and it's been fun. It's been interesting, but now in a 4v3, they're not exactly liking their odds with the spike inside of A. I mean, you don't really have any other options.
Yeah, they got to move in here, and here the updraft happened there. The turret is also giving the information, but looks like they might just be completely moving around and trying to take middle presence instead. Loki going to be using the Owl Drone to try and scout things out, not able to see too much. Just going to be Rymaster actually hiding behind and back in Wine. That is going to be their point of advancement if they do decide to push in onto the site. Let's see how this one works out. Time is ticking down. 30 seconds left on the clock. They're committed to this A site if they want to or not.
The fact that they're actually choosing to send a couple people through all the way and connected, they're making a lot of noise. So I actually like this call. They're going to try and bait this out as much as possible. OCU is going to see back, but look at Rymaster. Rymaster is ready low-key, ready to go on the other end. The Sova's doing so much work here. That's 3 between the two. And Exo finishes it off. It's a 2 pair of kills for the side of RPI White.
Wow, I am genuinely surprised that worked out the way that it did, but you know what? That duel, it was like a buddy cop movie. They were running through, cleared out all the different corners, made sure they had each other's backs, and it completely worked out. Quite frankly, Rymaster staying alive there, gave the position away with the Hunter's Fury, but actually was trying to scout things out to make it easier for the other 2 members to be able to enter in on that little defensive hold there. And sure, a lockdown could be tossed out as well, but it's not going to change that much, especially too if there's Vandals in their hands. So great half from RPI White. Now we are going to be swapping things around. Siena College going to be the ones who are going to be taking the aggression. Once again, though, take a look at that. Low key, right now tying up for top frags in the lobby with 12 matching defenstrations with 12 in their hands as well. Let's see how this attack wants to go and whether or not it will be as furious as RPI White.
All right, that's a great start. She hurt me. I did say I want to see She Hurt Me pop off here. And at least at the start of this round, it looks good, right? Looks good, gets a great shot. Able to shift a little bit of focus back in Siena's favor. But they're still chasing that default, right? They're still trying to decide. They run halfway up B and then decide to double back. So they're not sure of their own. And She Hurt Me gets blinded out of Catwalk. So you know at least Sky is along that A side. The question is how many others are waiting? Ayub hiding inside of the smoke. Oh, and if you get this, this is going to be such a disgusting surprise.
Nice and slow. Ayub, the clutch king. Not able to find anything, but now goes around the corner. Low-key could dismantle this. The recon bolt. See if there's enough room there. Ayub at least gets one. And is able, no, okay, doesn't fully get away, but did quite a bit of damage as well. It's gonna be more than enough. Exo gonna be trying to go for the swing there. Can't find anything, but never mind. Shock bolt from heaven, and bullets through the wall. It's gonna be more than enough. Just like that, RPI have the numbers advantage. They keep it. It's now a 1v3 here. OCU tosses out that paranoia, but it's a little bit too late. Exo goes for the execution. That's gonna be RPI White getting themselves to 11, winning yet another pistol round.
Oh, Ayub set that up. Okay, let's start there. Ayub set it up perfectly, right? With the start, was an absolute menace just standing in the doorway with that shorty in hand. Great job there. The follow-up there, it looked a little bit scary. It looked like Siena were going to get a great post-up. We're able to get, corner position. But Rymaster, that is the second shock bolt kill that they have been able to pick up, and it disrupts so much of what Siena are hoping to do, right? They just randomly lose a member on the back end, and that allows RPI White to flood into the site. So far, RPI White keeping Siena College in check, and the fact is, now you're at a gun disadvantage. RPI White should be able to head to game point with not too much of a problem.
Unfortunately, we've rolled out of Stinger meta, or I say that as Loki has a Stinger in hand. It's been increased in price, and so teams don't necessarily want to be able to buy that one as often, but still, the economy a little bit weird from Siena College. That surprise advantage is now given away, as it's very clear to RPI White that they do in fact have weapons, but love with this Marshall, as deadly as ever, if they don't have any light shields, is going to get scouted out, but quite frankly doesn't think it's that much of a deal. And Siena College, they're struggling to be able to move up here. They're not able to take any ground whatsoever, but Jerem starts out with a pick onto Rymaster. That might be enough to open things up.
There they are. Well, that's one way to do it. Defenestration immediately naps it right back. Just said Bulldog to the brain. Sorry about that one. Defenestration is still upside.
No way.
That was a blind random shot. Yeah, Mampa, put him down. Put him down right there. That was illegal. Illegal maneuver on the field.
Yeah, now they should be able to at least get the spike down, but take a look at all of their HP. It's going to be one bullet is going to do enough to two of their agents here. And they still haven't put that spike down. Never mind, Ayub. Stinger meta, still here, able to at least find one. Mampa trades it back immediately, but it's still going to be a 2v2, and at least the spike goes down for Siena College.
Destroyed.
Now, in this situation, where do you go? It's just a hard change. Mampa, though, sweet. No! Again, what is with RPI? That's the second blind kill that they've been able to pick up. Now do you get this last one? Where do you look? Around the edge, you see them. Oh, they're behind the corner. 20 HP. Love. Praying that love prevails, and love will prevail. It was messy. It was crazy. But RPI moved to game point.
I'm pretty sure there were a couple of running Bulldog headshots in that round, and that is just kind of unbelievable. But you never see that one too often. I mean, we did see a running Phantom headshot in lock-in for Brazil earlier today if you were watching, but still, hey, it trickles down. Trickle down economics also applies to Valorant. Who would have thought? It's a real thing. Look it up. And you're all in college, right? Nah. Now, focusing in onto this one. RPI White. On map point. Like you said, this was their map pick, so not too surprising here. But they've kind of forced Siena College into an uncomfortable position with their weapon buy. We are going to be seeing quite a few Bulldogs, which is actually kind of interesting here, but I don't know whether or not it's going to be enough to really deter RPI White from holding the solid defense that they kind of have been thus far.
They're going to do what they can here. And again, with those kills earlier, with the multitude of kills that they were able to pick up, love. Only one really with, I think, a weapon in hand is going to get drilled after taking one. 3v4 here. Very, very much doable for Siena, and they really don't want to go down with 3 in a row at the second half. So they're going to try their best here. And again, with that lockdown, as you stated, a very big ultimate if they can get onto site. But their up mid strategy has been slowed down. OCU. Just another bit there, Million. Open. And they're going to walk through. Pizza. Through market, and now dash forward, but you land right in front of Rymaster. Jerome is able to find EXO, but it's still a trade. 2v3. And now Mampa with another 3K says, give me that chance. The Fenestration is going to try and defend for their life. Shots to the left, checking the right, and they're just going to rotate out. They say, screw it. We know exactly where this Killjoy is. Perfect time to go to A.
And honestly, I think that's an okay thing for RPI White. Even if they drop this round, they've done more than enough damage to the economy of Siena College. Keep in mind that this is RPI White's bonus round, so, you know, you kind of expect it to not be won. But the fact of the matter is that they've done so much economic damage to Siena that they will have a gun advantage into the next round. And that is going to be very important. If Defenstrations can find one more pick, that is even going to seal the nail in the coffin just a little bit more. Let's see how this retake goes. I don't imagine well, but you never know. This KJ might pop off.
I mean, we've seen people go crazy at points. We really have, and Defenestrations is one of those at points. Every single member feels like RPI have had a time, and they do again! Defenestrations goes ahead and locks in game 1 with the most disgusting aim I've seen here tonight.
I can't tell if that's spray control, if it's just a panic, throw your mouse around. I'm not too sure what happened there. But you know what? I said, hey, Defenestrations might be able to pull this one away. And look what happened there. That was just completely unbelievable.
I love it, though. I love it. And I feel like that encapsulates a lot of what happened in the later rounds, right? RPI White in the early stages, they felt very controlled. On their attack, they felt controlled. They felt like they knew what they were doing. The consistent idea of pushing B until it failed, that's a tactic that, I feel teams should use more often. If a single site works, please just keep doing it. Rack up as many rounds as you can before the opponent actually figures out that they're actually weak side there. But then on the defensive, right? 3 rounds in a row, we saw for this team, it is doable, but is it expected? Not at all. So well done with those clutch ups from so many moments. Defenestrations as well, getting blind shots straight through smoke, just like, hey, I'll send a Hail Mary here. Those moments are what really bring a team around, and creating those opportunities for yourselves is another strength. So very well done here in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got more Valorant coming just around the corner. Next up, we've got Haven, which is Siena College's map pick. Will they be able to tie it up and force us to that map 3, or is it going to be RPI White running away with a 2-0 series? We've got a short break. We'll catch you just on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. It's RPI White up against Siena College. Pretty interesting first map there, but we're seeing RPI White just flex a little bit on their opponents, right, Orbital?
Yeah, so Siena College, we talked about it at the start, the information gathering composition. It definitely gave them information. We saw them moving when they're supposed to, right? It just felt like their trigger fingers were not ready to go. It felt like RPI White were just faster on the trigger, better aim, and I feel that was only encapsulated at the very end, or not only, but one of the key moments is just that situation occurred, and getting those 2 kills to end the round felt like it shouldn't happen, but it did. And that, I think, really shows off RPI's style of, even if we don't have all the information, even if we don't know what's going to happen, we're going to pull that trigger and we're going to send it. And that on-the-fly, that off-the-cuff style really adds to their benefit against Siena, who have not been able to find their, the purchase, haven't been able to find their level ground just yet.
Yeah, and once again, this is the first time that we're seeing Siena College play together, whereas RPI White, I mean, they won their last match, and quite frankly, they still look really good this week as well. It's still incredibly early on in the season, so it's hard to say, any sort of power rankings are going on, but right now, RPI White feel a little bit more rehearsed, and it seems more coherent. When they know what they want, they are not afraid to just go for it. Basically, like you said, except they're being extremely meticulous with how some of those executes work out. We talk lucky shots aside, they do look really rehearsed and are very on top of just playing together as a team, playing off the utility as soon as it comes down. It just looks really good from them.
And that actually scares me moving into the next map because of how how controlled they are on their attacking side. On a 3-map defensive position like this one, like we're coming up on Haven, it's even more doubly so that you have to be on your game and you have to be willing to rotate very quickly. You are not always going to have the best position that you're going to enjoy, right? And for Siena, a team that still feels like, again, they have to have the time to prep. They have to have the time to kind of set up their strategy. They have to get the people in position. This is going to benefit RPI White. Keep in mind, they ran over anyone and everyone in the first half when they were on the attack. Yes, they are on the defensive side this time. I feel that's only going to delay the inevitable first. So for Siena, this is a time to do it. If there's any time to really rack up some rounds and try and do a little bit better than back in game number 1, it's on the attack here.
Would you look at that? Phoenix is getting locked in first on Siena. That's interesting. Usually when you talk about duelists that come out on Haven, it's going to be that Raze, that Neon, that Jet. People who can move rather quickly and get a lot of space on the actual sites. Phoenix, meanwhile, is a little bit more just play around the flashes, go for those kills, and then heal yourself up when necessary. Not as independent as, say, a Reyna pick, for example, but still a very independent duelist to try and get that space just by pure frag potential. And we're going to be seeing Loki coming in on that. As soon as I say that, though, Love locks in Phoenix as well. Have I missed the memo? Is Phoenix back in the meta?
Phoenix is enjoying a slight resurgence, and I say slight because I personally don't play Phoenix, and I don't see it in my low elo area. But I will say the adjustments to the ultimate and the adjustments to giving him like quality of life little buffs with some of his abilities has helped. Right, he's not S tier, I would say. I wouldn't say he's the auto picks or anything like that, but it's doable. It's at least doable than he was previously. So the fact that the ultimate is on a much lower cooldown means that you are going to have that running back at a much faster rate, and it's going to help out in these entries, in some of these situations where you do have to clear a site very quickly, especially on Haven. Hey, I got to check B. Can we check back of B real quick? Cool. Send the running back, check all angles, and you're good to go, right? So not a terrible choice, maybe not the most optimal for some of the teams, but if you're comfortable with it, it can be a very powerful pick.
And don't forget, too, Phoenix also has the wall, allowing for a little bit more site denial as he decides to walk in on one of those sites. But starting things off, already Siena College moving their way in onto this A site. Rightfully so, I think RPI White back off here. They're not willing to really contest that, and I think that's the right call. Especially, too, on a pistol round. Pure numbers are always going to win unless you've got a frenzy and they all just walk in front of you, or you have a shorty and 2 people walk in front of you. Regardless, though, it actually looks like Siena College was more or less just kind of faking this A site as they do back out, and Love able to pick up that information is instrumental for the rest of the team to start moving forwards, and she hurt me already down.
AU, one of the players that we watch, may not have had the highest KP or the highest kills or anything like that, but had some clutch up moments and looked great. Low-key just spraying through that connector, not even finding Rymaster, and because of that, Ry was able to get a slight tag on that Cypher, so very nicely done. But again, right now, 4 on site, 4 scattered around, but Jerome said, not today, 2 quickly dropped as OCU finds Rymaster, and Love being the last one alive.
Careful now.
Love gonna toss out the hot hands there. Goes for a little bit of an arc to try and clear out that corner. Fortunately, nobody is going to be there. Goes for it, able to actually pick up one. The swings are coming out. It's like whack-a-mole going on here, but somehow Love is still alive, looking for it. Almost was able to win that one out in a very unlikely odds, but brings them down to just 2 members. And this time it's going to be Siena College picking up their very first pistol round in this series.
Took him a little bit, but spicy nonetheless. And the fact that Jerome stepped up once again, huge 3K for an agent that drastically needs the kills, right? And also, if you take into account this one, I believe this is outside of the Sova. Okay, Sova and Brim. These are all, you know, kind of unique agents, so I like the idea. Nope, Phoenix, 3 on each side. Man, I can't count marks. What is wrong with me today? But still,
mathematics trolling you.
my own brain is just like, nah. But
Get the abacus out.
Differences. Yeah, I like the difference in the style changes though, from again Ascent into Haven.
Okay, Loki starts it out. Pick on to Love here. Actually tosses out the hot hands. I think that's a little bit more of a detriment. Slows down the team from being able to push off of that pick. Now they are going to be moving through more than enough time for RPI White to get themselves set up. More importantly, look, they're getting ready for a flank. Thankfully, there are a couple of trap wires set up in order to deny any of that information, especially to if Ayub decides to walk through it. The question here is how Siena College are going to be moving in. Seems like now's going to be the time. The flash goes up. Low-key, though, able to find Exo as they're trying to escape.
Exo said, guess not. That is not going to be the chance. Siena, though, realizing they're getting flanked here. AU, thumbs up, ready to go, and thumbs down. That is a painful shot. Good chance, though. She hurt me, able to find that kill on the head, and Siena College might be able to fall away with all members alive. Rymaster taking quite low, 24 HP. Mampa is able to find defenestrations, and Low-Key gets a 3K. So, Siena College carry every single weapon over into round number 3.
And this is one of the reasons why you want to bring a Cypher with you on a map like Haven. I think that we made a lot of great points about Killjoy and why Killjoy is a great pick as a Sentinel, but when you're trying to full send things, especially to not having to be close to your equipment, Cypher brings a huge advantage to the table. You can set up that spy camera in so many different locations to be able to get that information, but more importantly, you can continue to push up with the squad without having to hang backwards, and you've got your backs covered thanks to a couple of tripwires. It's that level of information that just really helps out your team in more confidently moving forwards, and quite frankly, that is a great thing to have in your back pocket when you're on the attack on Haven.
Feels good, man. Feels real good. And they're making it work, but this is the true test, right? RPI White gonna have guns available, and we'll see what they can do. Again, when they have that chance, their defense has looked a little bit weak, but we get that opportunity available. To me, Shockbolt goes out. Rymaster locking off those garage doors. Hot Hands goes out and sits right in front of B side, and so 2 entrances currently locked off on either side, but She Hurt Me tried to get the shot, couldn't land any hits, but gets one through the smoke, so Love is taken down, and a little bit of Molly burns them away, but they found the entry. Exo tries to get a run, but AU takes the fall, and look at that, Rymaster with a random swing finds Jerome. Do you find another? Yes, you do. Rymaster almost gets 3, but can't. It's down to a 2v2.
Approaching from different angles here. This could be deadly. But OCU looking the wrong way. Defenestration's able to pick up one. It's just She Hurt Me in the back line. Bulldog in hand. Looking for it. Defuse is being tapped. Very slowly turning around the corner. Defenestrations looks the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. She Hurt Me. The spray transfer is simply too good. Siena College walk away with a 3rd and can pick up a Phantom for their troubles.
Wow, Siena College coming alive here on their map pick, and you know what? I don't dislike it. Looking at the power that they've had in the last few rounds, feels good, right? A very nice shift. And I did say at the beginning, right, if there's any time for Siena College to really rack up the rounds and give themselves a very nice safety net, it is on their attack. They did not have a chance previously, and this is why I said at the beginning, I love the fact that they were able to alternate on their own side. They were able to grab that attack and really take a look and hone in on what they want to do. Right now, low-key, with a little bit of a delayed spray into the final kill, takes out the enemy. Phoenix then put themselves up once again, a player, putting it 4v5.
Now the run it back is online. Loki looking potentially to use it here, actually. Be a little bit careful. Exo just on the other side, you're kidding me. Able to get one, but Loki finally shuts that one down. Siu is going to be down, though. It's okay, though. Think about it. The smokes have already been deployed. It's going to be a 2v4 scenario, but you can just see Siena College oozing with confidence here. They're more than ready for this retake.
Even Phoenix is like, low-key, what we doing here? 3K, make it 4 maybe? Defenestrations. Walking around the edge, alarm bot being picked up and said, all right, how do we play this? How the heck do we play this? Not like that. Low-key drops a 4K and has the run it back ready to go.
And this is a dominant performance coming in from Siena College. They're playing incredibly dynamically. They're trying to see what is going on and then trying to adapt their playstyle around that. And it's these micro adaptations that I think are really working out for them. Specifically looking at the defense here, what I want to start to see happen a little bit more is better utilization of those mollies. You've got a lot of agents who are bringing things in that can really just slow down the plays. And to be fair, RPI have been trying to use them, but that immediately just causes Siena College to just back out and decide to go a different way instead. So let's see how they're going to be going here. It is going to be an ult command off the bat, and same with a run it back, and Loki is already on site.
This is one of their faster entries as well, right? They have not been attempting that fast rush, that consistent chase in as quickly as possible. They've, as you said, waited for the util to come out, but they have the util, right? They have everything. It has kind of pinched them, though. Keep eyes on this back flank. If RPI White are able to pull this off, it's going to be huge, but the blind is even bigger. She hurt me, was ready. Defenestrations with the peak headshot. 32 HP, ready to go.
Launching smoke.
More shots. Ayub, though, wants to go for the defuse, and they have clear position. Mostly, at least low-key was ready on the edge and swings with the 3K. And what in the world is happening here? RPI White, I expected them to have a little trouble on their defense, but this looks completely different than we saw in game number 1.
Absolutely, that's now 5 rounds in a row for Siena College. That last round, a little bit of an expensive one. A lot of ultimates get forced out there just for good measure, but at the same time, the frags that have coming in for RPI White, they've got 4 of their players with 2 kills, and then Ayub only with 1. This is also going to be a half buy coming in this round. They're not able to buy up rifles and a couple of buckies coming in. They're just crumbling under the pressure that is Siena College. Siena College playing so confidently and just running over whatever RPI White try to construct in front of them.
And again, RPI White, a huge thing for them is I think their attack is going to feel a bit better, right? It feels like this team, at least for right now, are a bit more controlled in that sense. But they gotta have something, and this is it!
You're kidding me.
Makes a play and draws the 2-for-1. And you know what? There is an opportunity, and they took it. Now Love looks a different way, and with the run it back, is now gonna get snapped on the back end, so you know there's at least 2 in that A long. And that's going to call for the rotate out. So the pinch is now occurring. RPI White have a chance to bust a round of their own. That box may be a bit more sturdy than they were expecting. 50 seconds left. They can bait this one out quite well. Shockbolt lands off on the edge. Not too much. Love was ready to go on Manpa, and Rymaster with another shotgun brings them down. EXO with the Sheriff sends them all packing.
Oh, and that's got to be a little bit of a tilter. When's the last time you've seen a Bucky be responsible for 3 out of 5 of the kills, Orbital?
Not, not for a while, let's just say.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, you expect, okay, sure, they got 1. Okay, cool, whatever. We dealt with that guy. But then to have another, you just simply don't expect it. But that, those hijinks kind of played off for RPI White. They're able to scoop up quite a few of the weapons, stabilize their economy a little bit more, and now they've got 4 of their own ultimates online just in the matter of a single round. You have to make sure they win this one, though. Otherwise, their economy is back into the dumpster. Already poking out here. Love goes down. A little bit of an overextension without any support, and that is going to be the go sign for Siena College.
I feel like every other round we've had to run it back at this point. It's just back and forth with these two. Loki, though, has had a tough time finding any sort of kill in that range. And Rhinemaster, though, able to find the Hunter's Fury. She hurt me fighting Zayub. And Defenestration's off on the C wing, said, okay, well, now we'll see what we can do here. The plant goes down. It is on that C site. So they're going to do this song and dance. 3 pinched in. Look at the flank, though, again, through defender spawn. The Cypher might have something to say about the last 3. No one's looking that way. Right, Master, spray out, and you don't get it. Oh, man, I had the perfect flank. Oh, no, disaster strike. Oh, the pain. Oh, Jerome turns it around, though, and says, nah, it ain't pain just yet. The fuse goes down. EXO touches it ever so lightly, and it's going to be a trade, but EXO finishes it. I think that's going to be plenty of time, and would you know it, RPI White take a very and much needed round.
I cannot believe... words cannot express the importance of those Seekers. If those Seekers did not come out when they did, they would not have been able to pick up Manpa on the flank. Manpa was basically doing Mission Impossible in the backline, completely hidden in the enemy backlines, ready to just strike at a moment's notice. And it's just that Seeker goes back, and just like that, EXO turns around just in time to spot the Cypher turn the corner, and that flank completely falls apart. And then the rest of Siena College just get run over. Excellent stuff coming down from RPI White. A very expensive round once again for Siena College, but low-key starts it off again, finds a headshot onto Love. Rhymaster gets flashed off with the curveball, but is going to be taking this re-engage, looking for it, able to find one, looking for a second, but goes down.
The readjustment by Rhymaster just almost got a 2K, couldn't make it happen, but it's enough, right? 1 for 1, or actually 1 for 2. It's better than some of the other situations they've been in. Siena College playing this one pretty close to the chest, though. 3 stacked up here in Garage. With the Owl Drone going through is going to spot it out. And look, the Nanoswarm slows it down, but Defenestration
no shot.
able to fire through. That's the 3rd time that we've seen one of those almost impossible kills occur. And now they're going to jump up. Defenestration should have heard him. That should have been plenty of information. Someone's hiding up in this wing. And they're both going to peek at the same time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 1, 2. Look at the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer is so good. They found the kill, and EXO is able to trade it in. Lockdown's going to be used, covering a majority share of C. And RPI White going to take this chance, pull a long flank, and force everyone out of sight.
Okay, Orbital Strike committed to the backline just to make sure that nobody can really hide back there. Smoke's actually coming down. And look at this, OCU can't see a thing, immediately goes down. Ayub comes from behind, has a shotgun in hand. Now RPI White back in the saddle again. 3 rounds in a row. And now the economy of Siena College is starting to hurt.
So clean is all I can really say there, right? That last couple seconds was perfect util usage, right? Drop of the Orbital Strike, go ahead, clear out that site, and then drop the smoke, force them to realize that they're kind of pinched in. The blind coming out of the smoke gave them perfect opportunity, the coverage, and then the flank around by Ayub, who was hiding off over there in C lobby. Perfectly done. Like, the execution from RPI White, we've been missing it on the defensive end, but when given the chance, they will do it.
Yeah, they really will. Now we're seeing already the Molly's used a little bit proactively to get a little bit more positioning. Love moving up again. This time around will be the first person to get the kill instead of being the first kill. Taking out She Hurt Me. And that is going to be the KO down, which means that a lot of this utility is still going to be available for RPI White when they want to try and defend against this push coming in from Siena College. On top of that too, that's the null command as well taken away from the equation, which is an excellent ult in order to push it onto a site with.
So many amazing tools in so little time. Not available in this round, of course. Owl Drone goes in. Information being tossed, and they found one. Of course, that's one in the corner. They didn't find one underneath in hell. That's going to be the swing. Ayub still finds the kill, but EXO loses her life. That means Ayub is going to have to face down a 1v3 until the rest of the team can get there. Ayub can do it, though, with this battle stim, the combat stim doing work here. The rest of the team is ready to go. Manpa takes out Ayub, but the damage has been done. Love finds Manpa, and Jerome is all on their own. Rhymaster is a master of the corner shots. And RPI do it after 5 in a row from Siena College. It is 4 in a row for RPI White.
And they're looking to take it to a 5th. Siena College on a very awkward bye now. Their economy, not the best position. We're going to be seeing one Vandal come in for Dram, but the rest of the squad have to more or less just half buy. They're not playing with as much confidence as they were before, giving RPI White the time to readjust themselves and get their defenses ready in order to really shut down some of those things. And on top of that too, it's the confidence level from RPI. They're not afraid to take some of these swings. They're not afraid to go out there and try and get a couple of these frags. And it's this difference that is really changing the momentum of this game. Oh,
Mampa though,
not quite.
Mampa's still done quite a bit of work at the start here. I just want to say there have been so many rounds where Mampa or anyone on Siena College really comes out with some phenomenal first bloods. It's just the follow-up, right? All the action slows down as soon as that kill happens, and RPI is just like, all right, take it slow. And Siena College are like, dang it, we can't really utilize that kill this time around. Looking for a bit more information, and they don't get any. And for that, they know there is a turret in garage. And maybe one extra shock bolt goes out, and if Jerome stepped a little bit further back, that would have been a kill.
Oh, Loki able to find Ayub as well. Run it back could be activated here. Finds a nice little headshot on defenstrations. Goes through, but Rymaster able to deal with that one. Going to be moving through the smoke quite swiftly. Can't quite find anybody. The chaos going into the site, but able to find a couple of kills. Rymaster, unbelievable stuff. Now looking for yet a third and finds a headshot there. And just like that, it's all evened up 2-2. No command still available here. Will be pulled by She Hurt Me. We're gonna slow things down for just a second. Exo gonna go for the tap here, slows things down, playing around this corner. Is only down to 67 HP, waiting things out a little bit at a stalemate until they decide to peek around this corner. She Hurt Me. Continuously ABing, trying to get a little bit more information here. It is able to actually scoop up the kill there as Loki goes for the second swing. Rymaster goes down, Siena College break 6.
It was looking scary there, Marks. I'm not gonna lie, it was looking a little bit scary with how long it was taking them to get to that moment. But they did it. They were able to do it, and now we get to watch them try and claw back. RPI White, they have the ultimates in their favor, at least one more than the other. But Siena College, if they get a single kill, that neural theft will come out. And again, we talked about it, right? Mampa has been trying their hardest to use the information gathering tools to their advantage. They get another frag early on, and RPI White are not careful. This could be a swing. Siena College could push for 7.
Very fast movement forwards. I like that Love is hanging back a little bit this time. Don't want to be that opening kill yet again. We'll get flashed out here, but take a look at this. It's going to be the run it back. Curveball goes around the corner, spots out Mampa. An arch nemesis dealt with, finds yet another onto Jerem, and the damage has been done. Loki just around the other side there, but gets blinded out. Doesn't matter. She Hurt Me ready for that swing, and now it's going to be 4v3 on this retake.
The run it back was so good. What happened after the run it back felt a little bit ambitious there. But Exo finds Loki, who charged in a bit as well, and that leaves Ayub to pick up She Hurt Me just like that. RPI White push to 5 and are very, very happy about what's happening here. If they tie up 6-6 leading into their own attack, that is huge. Again, this is a team that feels like if they're on the attack, they're in control.
Yeah, agreed. And look at this, they're ready to potentially tie things up. Siena College, their buy isn't going to be fantastic. They do at least have the orbital strike available for them. I think that could be huge depending on where they drop that one down. It's going to be tough, but once again, I like that adaptation. Love holding back was something that they didn't expect. They were ready for that Phoenix to just kind of walk out there and then punish it immediately, playing off of that single pick. But that time around, Love just kind of held back and was able to find a couple of picks, which was more than enough for the team to succeed.
The adaptation and the change up from the norm is always big, but look at that blind. Love does it again. 2 big plays and another blind. No, Love, you can't do it to him like that. One blind, one kill. That's all you needed. Defenestration's falling up behind. RPI hold off Siena College along the C site, and it's all of a sudden down to a 2v5. Seekers coming out to hunt Siena into the ground. You hate to see it, or you love to. She Hurt Me is going to walk away. You found one frag, are hoping for a bit more, but you can't do much. Love with the 3K, looking for one more, and Love with a 4K. 6-6 heading into the second half.
They do say that the definition of insanity is when you keep on doing something exactly the same, but you're expecting a different result. Not going to be the case for Love. Decides to push out aggressively on a different angle completely, and honestly plays that extremely smart. You could tell that Siena College were just kind of not ready for that level of aggression coming out from C. They expected that Love was going to be pushing out of B, because that's pretty much where Love has gone most of those rounds. Well, they got absolutely punished for that one. RPI White tie it up 6-6. Now on the attack. Let's see how they fare up against Siena College on their defense now. Curious to see where Mampa sets up all of this Cypher utility as well. Let's see how those cages are going to be used in order to potentially slow down the momentum that RPI White is going to be running through them with.
Well, they have a lot more information gathering tools this time around, right? This one's going to be a bit more engaging, but I feel that's why RPI are also chasing quite hard. They know they win a lot of these early gun duels, and yeah, the first half was a little bit difficult, but right back in their groove, they found the opportunities, they found their angles, and now they're going to play on their own. Again, the attack is what they do. These quick plants, these quick forces of Siena College just scramble to get into position, and look how deeply spread they are. Love, though, does not care, grabs one. Mampa takes out Love. She hurt me, though. Finds Rymaster, who's standing out in the open. But with 3v4 here, EXO with this blind is gonna hope find that opportunity around the corner. The hot hands goes, and the blind comes out again.
Ooh.
But EXO burns at the ground. AU finds Mampa. 2v3. Right click doesn't do anything. She hurt me. Finds that kill, and Jerome is able to finish off as well, but
not enough time.
They completely disregarded it. Oh, that feels so bad.
Yeah, and quite frankly, that was a really smart play coming in from RPI White. They they got that spike down extremely fast, and then they completely backed off, but they made sure they had enough stalled utility in order to play far away. And that's the reason why we actually did get to see AU playing in through Garage. They spread themselves out just enough that potentially, if necessary, they could just run in at the last second and deny the plant, which would just make sure that the defuse just never came through. So really intelligent little micro play coming in from RPI White. But let's see what they do. They're going to be buying in submachine guns this time around. Minus AU only having that little fun shorty, but the weapon advantage is securely with RPI White on this round.
And the burn as well. Oh.
Trade.
When a Phoenix gets burned, that is a painful moment right there. Mampa able to trade it back, though, so it's not going to be without its merits. The chase into B site, though, we have not seen a whole lot of these go down, but it works when you have those Spectres and those SMGs ready to go. Another shock bolt. That is the third shock bolt kill that Rymaster has had over the course of 2 games. And it's so disgusting how often that happens. Rymaster able to take a 2K, and RPI White pushed to 8. Feeling good here.
Oh, absolutely feeling good there. They only lost Love on that entire duel, meaning that Ayub is able to carry that Vandal over into this next round, and the economy is just booming right now for RPI White. It's looking extremely good for them, and, well, this is going to be Siena College trying to force them back. This is going to be the best round, best opportunity that they have in this half, but unfortunately, they've lost the lead. And that has to be a little bit frustrating to kind of see, especially to understanding the fact that they had, once again, 5 rounds in a row to kick things off, and they've just completely lost a lot of that momentum, while RPI White have just picked it right up.
Oh, man. Jerome spraying through the walls, finds RPI waiting. And Ayub gonna get the plan, but Mampa is ready to go, and Ayub says, not that way. I'm gonna very quickly disregard that.
What?
And again, with the heavy artillery coming out from Siena College, they take a quick round.
Yeah, lightning fast round. It seems like they just decided to walk in, and, well, it didn't really look like RPI White had fully cleared out the back of the site before they committed to getting that plant down. That is very important, otherwise those little opportunities are going to present themselves, and Siena College are more than happy to capitalize off of them. Just like that, only 1 round now separating, but this is going to be the true gun round coming in for RPI White. Full rifles coming in, and pretty much almost full utility. Love only has that half shield, but Phoenix utility, thankfully, pretty cheap, so should be more than enough to engage with.
Well, so far, RPI, as everyone sees guns in all the hands. So let's go back to the default. Let's slow things down a little bit. Let's play this. Let's play this smart. See if we can catch one of Siena College playing a bit too antsy and playing a little bit too forward, and they might have found it. She hurt me. Cheating up on this side. Not even worried about checking along the back of A long, just saying, yeah, I feel they're all over here, which is perfectly done. And now a push up this C side. So it's a two-prong attack here. And Ayub gonna drop those smokes and blocks off Garage. So well done. And again, this opens up and unleashes RPI White. Look at the blind.
That's
again,
good.
Love. That's the second time, and the hot hands is gonna work. It's magic. Low-key and She Hurt Me, though, gonna drop some damage. Once again, She Hurt Me gets the 2K. EXO ready to go on Low-key's face. But look at the entry. Siena College did some work down to a 1v2. EXO just can't keep up. Siena College put in the work, and they grabbed the first gun round of the half.
It's so chaotic. It's so chaotic. That's the thing. I mean, as soon as RPI White get that spike down, Siena College are like, okay, we got to interrupt them right now. Don't even give them an opportunity to get themselves set up. Just run it through and let's see what we can make happen. And sure, that could cause it to come down to a 1v1, but as long as they're able to get the rounds on the board, that's all that matters. RPI White now tying it up yet again, 8-8. We are going to be, Siena College tying it up. And now RPI White are going to be forced onto a save. We might be out of Stinger meta, but that doesn't mean that the gun's completely phased out. Love and Rymaster are going to be bringing a couple of those into this next round. And usually that supports a faster style of play, but it is a bit of a default coming in from RPI White.
I don't think they really have a choice, right? they got a couple stingers in the back pocket. They're like, what options do we really have here? I mean, you could try and chase in and get knocked over like bowling pins, but you know, you'll try and take it slow. Again, the very far push on A long with no one else on the wings to help means that Love might have an opportunity, and Love has done quite a bit of work, right? With those blinds, with those flashbangs, has been instrumental in causing chaos wherever they go. Needless to say, though, the fenestrations was ready. Great snap up, but She Hurt Me.
Not like this. All right, now they are swarming over to this A side, and look at that. Love has completely taken things over. Hot Hound's ready. Going to be using that to isolate things off just a little bit longer. Get a little bit of a heal here. But that should be the spike being able to go down. EXO going to be ready for the plant. This is already looking like a pretty darn good utility round there. The Seekers get popped as well.
Oh, everyone on RPI White have been flushed out. The knowledge is there. But Siena College can't actually push in, so they stalled out at the doors because of the smoke. Because of that, they sent one into heaven. Defenestration's looking up to the top side, waiting. And peeks around the wrong side, but they find the kill. Mampa is down. Heaven one. Low-key looking, but Love finds OCU. Low-key finds Rymaster. It's down to a 3v2. RPI have turned the tables here, and Siena College got to do some work. Love ready to go. Gets the snap. Is now going to try and run away, but Low-key ready to go. Gets 3K. Ayub wants just a little bit more.
Not enough time.
No time whatsoever, and now you're just trying to get the kill on the back end. You get some shots off.
Oh,
and
drops the rifle.
is the only one to die. Low-key made the right choice, sprinted to safety, and hangs on to the singular weapon. RPI White so close to giving up the lead, but hang on by an inch.
Yeah, given the fact that that 2 was just a half buy coming in, great round coming in from RPI White. A very different look from this squad on the attack. They played that default perfectly. Siena College, quite frankly, were doing a really good job at not giving RPI White what they wanted, but just one step out of line and absolutely getting punished by defenestrations was more than enough for RPI White to be able to open things up and then move very confidently. Now, we're going to be seeing how they go into this next round. Already quite a bit of damage inflicted onto the Killjoy with an early shock dart, but that's okay. She hurt me with this operator all the way down C long. I don't imagine that this is going to be really good for RPI White to push down.
Take flight.
I also think this will be the first op that we've seen this half, right? So it would be a shock for sure. It would be a nasty surprise to have, but Love getting inside this garage, heard someone in connector and is able to trade 1-for-1. But Low-key makes it 2. What a snap of a head onto Defenestrations, who in game 1 was a menace in their own right. Ayub, though, takes his chance to press into a site and gets a quick play. Look at the other members quickly rushing over. And Siena College have to play smart. Take a look again, the orbital strike. We know this setup, so Siena College are gonna try and make some magic happen. They're all flushing up to the top side, though. This is gonna follow perfectly for Ayub.
Oh, information was given. Exo knows. Trailblazer are going to be used, but immediately just gets canceled out thanks to a null command. Rymaster, though, able to at least drop low key. She hurt me. Gonna be tapping the spike there. Rymaster with the spray, able to get yet another. And now She Hurt Me walks out. Perfect timing. Operator barrel right into Rymaster's side. Mampa trying to make this one work, but now there's more than enough time for the orbital strike to come through. Doesn't matter. It's a little bit too late in the chaos. Mampa able to get the defuse off. RPI White. They get tied up once again. Siena College winning an excellent round.
Pros don't fake. Listen, I know a battle is raging on behind my head, but we've lost one too many rounds to letting that spike go unattended. And so Siena just stick it. So well done there. They lose all the members, and they still have a little bit of money to spare for full weapons, but the shielding is going to be a bit rough here. So RPI White and Siena College working with a little bit of our purchases. Not full, but enough. I would say more than enough. And now they get to take a chance. Now they get to go crazy. Love is going to have that running back. And once again, we know what Love can do. And this time, rightfully so, Siena College say no thanks, but She Hurt Me. Sends a few bullets through the smoke and is able to find one Love. Able to get low-key on that running back, and that's going to be a great trade. So 4v4 into the heavens. Attacker lockdown going down, forcing everyone out of that corner. But look who's in heaven. Look who's stuck. This is going to be a problem.
No, actually, the lockdown gets destroyed thanks to that Hunter's Fury. A great... Okay, Ayub able to get one with the shorty. Love to see that one happen there. Exo does get stunned out. An orbital strike coming down from above. Love, though, is just going buck wild on the site. Finds a nice little 4K to close things out. RPI White scooch ahead with just yet another round. And finally, Siena College, their economy is going to be broken.
That feels like it should have happened earlier, right? With how back and forth these rounds have been, it feels like the econ should have been broken before. And yet they have done so well in scrambling weapons together that RPI White, I have a feeling they're not sure if they're going to go up Stingers or not. So they're just like, okay, well, do we actually have to be cautious of Siena, or can we kind of bull rush this? That's going to be the question. Well, I think they found their answer. Love takes out 2 and B and says, well, we know what they chose to do.
Yeah, nice easy plant now. Keep in mind, Hunter's Fury also online as well. So this is just going to be a great opportunity for the rest of RPI White to get a couple of ultimate orbs here, as quite a few frags are coming through as well. Defenstrations shutting down that flank completely, and now Mampa's the last person alive, looking to at least potentially take one person out, but this is just a very clean round from RPI White. When Love finds those opening frags, it's like the round is already over. It just swings so heavily in RPI White's favor. It feels like Siena College don't even have an opportunity to try and contest them.
Oh my gosh. Just make it flawless. Just have a lot of fun with it. Love putting them at 11 and 9, 2 rounds away from taking it home. And Siena College are kind of stuck on a rough question, right? Do we full buy here, which is quite honestly the good answer to go for, or do we wait until next round? And they're going to fully buy out here. This is do or die right now. This is the do or die round for them. If they lose this, the best that they could probably grab are Stingers. They're zeroed out on 2 members. RPI, this is a chance, right? They've been neck and neck for a majority share. They were behind in the first half, and they don't want to give up this pressure. So Love gets the combat sim, chases forward so quickly, and now they're running back again. We know this song and dance. Is it going to play for a third time? Yes, it is. Hot Hands goes out, and you run right by an opponent. You were trying to heal up, and couldn't really find anyone else there. So the running back doesn't do too much. Rymaster, though, finds low key. Walking off the left side, Jerome able to find one. Love finds OCU. Ayub finds Jerome. She Hurt Me, gets a swarm kill, and Ayub says, I hate that nade. It's so dumb. Defenestrations with the turret up. Gets plant 3v2.
Spike is going to be down here. Do have that Cypher ultimate, but never mind. Completely taken out of the equation. Might have been a little bit of a force-up, but it's all falling apart. Teammates comes through. 3 members still alive. Who else but Love to open things up onto the site? Just went so speedy, zoom. Now it's going to be match point. RPI White looking to close out Siena College. 2-0. And it's going to be a very uncomfortable bye for Sienna.
You know what? At least it's not all SMGs, right? That's all I really care about here. They're able to scramble together a couple weapons, the Phantom, the Bulldog, and of course the Bucky, which, I mean, we can't count out the Bucky, right? We saw earlier it did work with 3 kills. Like, oh, well, now I'm sad. All right, we're going to get this chance here. Either way, 2 rifles. You know what? I believe magic can happen. Sienna College is going to try and put in the works.
Taking point. Puts up a nice little wall, goes for the flash around the corner. It is going to be entry onto site. Run it back, used by Loki. It's going to be a curveball around the side. Doesn't find anybody. Tosses out the hot hands. Realizes that Love is going to be in the back there. Is able to find that pick, but disappears just in time. Dram, meanwhile, falling down. Defenstrations moving right into the defenders. And just like that, it's looking like RPI White might be able to win this one here. EXO going through with the chase. OSU extremely low. Gets taken out, but it is down to 2v3.
All times for this to happen. Sienna College don't want to give up just yet. In goes a little bit of a knife. Does get one suppression, so you need at least one's off on that angle, but where else can you find it? Oh, that's gonna be it, but it doesn't matter how much util you grab. It's headshots galore as RPI take the 2-0.
That is just some unbelievable stuff coming out there. But yeah, like you said, RPI White, they come back. You know, at first I was questioning whether or not that was going to happen, but like you said, they looked incredibly good on their attack.
I feel, again, it's that control issue, right? Where do you feel the most control? It is on the attack, right? You do have the conductor's baton in your hand, and when you get to dictate where these fights happen, it feels better. Granted, Sienna College came awake on their map pick. We cannot disregard that. Remember, Game 1, 13-2. Rough time, felt bad. Game 2, 13-9. That is a vast improvement. And for a team that, you know, I don't know what they've been scrimming on the offside, but again, week 1 was a forfeit. They came out, gave us a pretty good show. So I really do enjoy what we're seeing there. And the compositions may be a little bit awry, but they make it work. So I really do want to see what more they can do. Hopefully they can do a bit better next time and pick up a dub on week 3.
Yeah, and just like that, we're going to be closing things out for week number 2 on this stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Congratulations to RPI White being able to win out the series 2-0 against Sienna College. Of course, Sienna College, want to keep an eye out for them, because if anything, they showed us that they've got what it takes, especially too on that Haven map. You could tell that they were a lot more practiced. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name has been Marks. This has been Orbital on the other side. We've had Storm Warrior on our production and Bulby as our observer. And Orbital, you got any final thoughts for us before we close things out for tonight?
I'm excited for even more Valorant next time. That's all I can say.
All right, thank you, and have a good night, everybody. We'll catch you next time.